What's up, everybody? We're gonna wait until we get some people in, so we're gonna play some music for y'all. All right. Let's see. We got a Strange E Forever, Ninja Strange E Forever. I think that's what it says. Keeper of the list. What's up? Excuse me. I'm a bit under the weather. Please forgive me. Not feeling that great, but we're gonna get through the show. All right. All right, we got some people in Caucasian Sasquatch in the building. What's up? What's going on? TN accountability. You thought I'd pop in? You thought I'd pop in for a minute before I head home? All right. We're just gonna get we're just waiting for some people come in. Make sure y'all share. All right. I'm collecting quotes. Now y'all see the sign right there. It's called Misandry. Quite crazy, right? Quite crazy, right? Because it is crazy. All right, y'all. We are here. I'm your host. What's up, y'all? It's your boy DJ K. I'm your host with the most. I'm also quite nasty on those ones and twos because you already know I make it do what it do. Welcome to the conversation, relations, and relationships season 2. We made it to season 2. So I have a few people here with me today. Wonderful people here with me today. We got a. I believe we have a newbie in here too as well. So we're going to get started, and I appreciate you guys in the comment section. Jen Wow, thank you for being here. The subject of the matter is misandry. Okay, misandry. We have enough people, especially in the modernized TV world and media and social media, about monogamy, or not monogamy. I mean misogyny, which is basically men having hatred toward women, or being they're superior to women. But we don't have enough talk about misandry. Okay, and we will break that down. But first, before we break that down, I would like to introduce the panel so we can get started. And I'm going to start with this guy is a great friend of mine, known him for years. He's been here on the panel. He's a regular on the panel. He don't give a shit. He gonna say whatever is on his mind because he has no chill whatsoever. I would like to introduce my great friend for many years, and to go on, my guy, Mr. No Chill. Welcome to the show, sir.
What's happening? How y'all doing tonight? So good. This is some psychological bullshit, but it does need to be talked about. You feel me? We definitely need to have this conversation because we always talk about misogyny, and we don't ever talk about the other side of the coin.
Okay, okay, okay. And I thank you for being here on the show, sir. And matter of fact, where can they find you? In any social media platforms you'd like to shout
Yeah,
out or anything?
they can fuck with me on the TikTok. You feel me? Mr. Four No Four Kill. Okay, Mr. Four, the number four. No, the number four kill. Follow me on TikTok. Ask me questions. I'll make videos and respond back. You feel me?
Okay, and we'll have that in the comment section a little bit later in the show. So
All
appreciate you on that, sir. Lugbug, I see you in the the studio. I will let you up here in a minute. Give me one sec. All right, the next person we're gonna introduce. She is a bit of a newbie. This is her very first time on the show. Now, she is a wonderful person, and I will get to that in a minute. Uh, she was kind of hiding from me, okay? You know what I'm saying? She didn't really want that smoke. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want that smoke. And so we finally got her on the show, right? She was like, all right, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? My girl, Lyric, y'all welcome to the show, mamas. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. And quit talking shit. Ain't nobody hiding from your ass at all. I have a job and work keeps me busy, but I freed up time to have this discussion with you.
Okay. Where can they find you at? Is there any businesses that you want to shout out? Anything that you're doing? Any special projects?
I know my
Where
main job is Denver Rescue Mission, so any support there with our homeless community is greatly appreciated.
can you speak on that just a little bit? What's going on with that is, because I do feel that there is a bit of criminalization when it comes to being homeless, just for and I don't think it's right as far as these sweeps done by Denver police. Um, that's just my opinion on it. But go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the sweeps are a little, a little unfair. They don't have any um they're not organized in what they're trying to do there. So it's just moving the homeless population from one place to the next. Most of them are mentally, well, there are a good large portion that are mentally ill, and that is coming up as a secondary issue to like their drug and alcohol use. Not every homeless person has started out like using drugs and alcohol, but they slip into depression, start to self medicate, and then a secondary result to that is mental illness. So
Okay.
there's very little help, and when there's no room in the hospitals, of course they let the mentally ill go first. So they just put them right back out on the street, and all the police are doing is just moving them from one place to the next, or giving them charges that they can't fight. We do have court downtown for our homeless population, so they don't have to go to the courthouse. The court
Okay.
comes to them to try to clear up those warrants and various different citations.
Okay. And I thank you for clearing that. And actually, I'm gonna try to have a segment on that, and I would love to have you on that so we can uh, dive deeper in this. But that's not what the show is about. The show is about me giving you smoke. Um,
Uh-huh. We're gonna try. We're gonna give it a good old college try.
Thank you for being on the show, mamas. I appreciate you. All right, the next person I'm going to be introducing is my main man. Okay, uh, this dude is a producer. Uh, 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 Also has several other shows that he produces. One of them is called Shop Culture with the K. And he's also an activist as well. I've heard some work that he's done in the past and everything. So, but he is definitely for his people, and he's just an overall good individual, and he's a regular member of the panel, and I appreciate him very, very much, and he gives a lot of insight for the show. So y'all welcome my guy. Y'all know him, y'all love him, Mr. Nick. Welcome to the show, sir. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here. All right. I can't hear you. Oh, you on mute?
I have myself on mute. My bad. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can find me on Shop Culture, all platforms, Shop Culture with a K. And I'll put that in the chat, and you can throw that up on the screen for folks to follow. But yeah, man, everything's good. Everything's everything.
All right, all right.
Ready to dig into the topic. I'm not sure what's about to happen, but
oh shit.
I'm gonna do my best to follow along and contribute to the platform.
Right. Now, the next person I'm going to be bringing up is is my big sister, which I love so much. Even though she be cussing me the hell out, y'all, she be giving me the business, but I love it. It's my older sister. I got to get on her nerves. That's my job. But best believe, ain't nobody gonna be messing with her. I bet you that. I love her very much, and she's a huge uh, contribute to the show. And y'all know her, y'all love her, love bug in the building. Welcome to the show, man. How are you doing today?
Okay, turn it off.
All right. How are you today?
Kevin.
You know, we had to give you a round of. You doing okay?
I fractured my hand. I need an epidural.
Lord Jesus. All right, y'all. We're going to bring the whole.
Sucks out here. Hi, everybody. Katie, shut the fuck up. Damn. Fuck. Hi, everyone.
All right, well, we finna bring everybody in and bring the whole gang in. Welcome to the show, everybody. Your phone is breaking up, sis.
I live in Green Valley now, so it's terrible.
Yeah. You gotta get that good old Wi-Fi.
I just moved in. It'll be on come Thursday, I think. So have patience.
Oh, and well, first of all, and then lastly,
too late. I'm gone. See y'all later.
My guy.
I'm out. I can't believe this. I beat him to the studio. I'm here first before he get here. Did he forget to even introduce me?
Oh man! Wait!
Who's the old fire around here?
My man, y'all know him. Y'all love him.
Yeah.
Old school.
Whatever.
In the building, and I appreciate you being on the show, sir. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. And you get one of these. You know what I'm saying? You get one of those. You get one of these, man. You get an extra one. So I appreciate you being on the show. But we're gonna get into it.
I guess so.
All right. What is Misandry? Okay, we're gonna get into it. We really finna get into it. Mm-hmm. All right, Misandry. I don't know if you guys can see that well enough.
Yeah, I can see it just fine.
Y'all can see it all right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Misandry is the hatred of contempt for or prejudice against men through series of books published in the 2000s and 2010s. Religion scholars Paul Nastasium and Catherine Young argued that misandry is commonly seen in North America and the demonization of men as a result of women exercising power through feminism. Mm. Let's see. Nick, I'm gonna go with you, brother. I'm gonna go with you. What do you feel about that? Do you agree with that definition, or
I mean,
what do
yeah,
you think about it?
I was doing some super light research on it because I've heard of the whole the word, the notion, the definition, all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it appears to be on point. I think it and it said something about how it was ushered through feminism, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading this article where it was saying that misandry is the response to misogyny. I
Mm.
thought that was pretty interesting. And the lady, some white woman who wrote the article, I'll have to toss you the link so you can check it out. She was saying how misogyny and misandry are not quite the same, even though to me, I mean, by definition, it is. It's just, you know, you
Mm-hmm.
got one group of people hating, despising the other. But
Right.
she tried to break it down to make it seem like that misandry was just the diet version or the version that the version where it's just like, well, misandry isn't as bad as misogyny because again, it's the response to it's simply just women responding to
So it's like a counter punch.
yeah, right, right. And so that's her, it was her way of just kind of like excusing the whole notion. Basically, you know, well, we can do this because we have a reason to. Whereas,
Mm.
you know, as far as misogyny is concerned, y'all just as men, y'all just do it because for various, you know, various reasons.
Got it. Got it.
Privilege
Okay.
and things of that nature.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. All right. The next person I'm gonna go with. Uh, next person I'm gonna go with is Lyric. I'm gonna see what you think about it. What? How do you feel about this definition, man?
So, well, I agree with the definition, and like it is. I mean, it's just prejudice. You know, either both sides of this coin is prejudice, not just like hatred and contempt, but I'm like it's a distrust and it's a horrible response, you know, to feeling wanting to walk in like your feminine power, like walking in your feminine power is doesn't mean that you have to have hatred or bash, you know, a guy, you know, and like that word is like it's hatred, you know, and I'm not in support of hatred of any kind.
All right. All right. Thank you, Lyric, for that. Ghost Eagle, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Um, the same. What's up? Mexican Long here. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you. Um, let's see. The next person we're gonna actually go with. Uh, we're gonna go with Mr. No Chill.
Okay.
So, how do you feel about this definition?
I feel the
Let's go.
definition is spot on for a lot of toxic feminine behavior. And I also see it more so not being a response to misogyny, but going hand in hand with it. Like if you was a victim of misogyny at some point in time, when you get power, you become an abuser yourself.
Mm,
So I kind of see that misogyny was more recognized than,
hmm
than this being in women. But I feel it's both sides of the same coin. We have to talk about both and how both of them can be harmful to communities.
Okay. All right. Um, Thank you for your wonderful comments, sir. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the next person that I'm gonna go with is old school. Um, how do you feel about this misandry after you read the title or read the definition of it? What's your thoughts on it? Um,
I
what you
don't know
got?
what the hell y'all talking about. Every time we have one of these discussions, we come up with a new word that somebody came out and made up about some shit don't make no sense. You got a group of goddamn women that got mad because they got mistreated by some man. Something happened to them, so they come up with a new word for a group of them that got pissed off and prejudiced against other shit. Here we go again. I'm so lost. My head's still smoking, trying to figure out what the hell y'all talking about. Monaga this, Masaga this. What the fuck? Okay, we talking about we talk about a group of people who somewhere in a relationship got screwed or got their feelings hurt or couldn't adapt to what happened to them. So they attached to a bunch of other people just like themselves. And so we have a new word in the dictionary to describe their dysfunction. I'm sorry, but I'm lost again. And which is I have nothing to say about it. It's just I got other things to worry about. Really? Come on. Oh, I still can't find a woman. Y'all give me crap about women that got problems because they've been dogs in their life. Okay. It had nothing to do with me, so why I'm in this conversation.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't
Fair
know what
enough.
the hell we
But
talking about.
I kind of feel what old school is saying because I don't know. I I study a lot of these spaces within the Black manosphere, if you will,
mm-hmm.
and you got some cats, even cats that aren't even necessarily a part of the Black manosphere or manosphere in general. But you have all of these individuals, these guys. They fire up microphones and they talk about what women are doing, what women are not doing, and just complaining about women and things like that. I don't understand a lot of that. I mean, I listen just to get insight, but I don't really understand a lot of it, the
Mm-hmm.
complaining as it is, because I don't have those problems. Never had those problems. Just because I don't have these problems with women in the way that a lot of these guys do, some of them, whatever, doesn't mean that it's not happening. Doesn't mean that the things that they are saying, some of the things that they're saying are not true. Um, but it's just I don't know. I wish I had I wish I had more to give on the topic, but the thing is, like, I know that these women exist. I don't know the numbers or the percentage rate or anything like that. And then you got even with that, you got to break down like who's practicing misandry more? Is it women in general? Is it black women? Is it white women? Is like I don't know. There's a lot of layers that I would personally have to go through on the subject to give the commentary that I would like to give, and what I would like to give is something thorough, something that holds weight. But because I don't necessarily run into women like this or women that have that thought process, it's more so just stuff that I see online, or if I happen to just be around the topic of discussion. And even in that, I'm just like the fly on the wall, kind of like not peering in, but just listening. So
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's, the further we go into conversation tonight about it, I'll probably be able to pick up something from y'all and learn something. I don't know.
We definitely got some video that we'll watch of some classic examples of misandry.
Okay.
Uh, some content creators like Cynthia G. I'm sure some
Oh,
people have heard that name. And Nick, I know.
Not I.
yeah.
Oh,
Not
you'll know
I.
her tonight.
Who that
Yeah.
You'll
woman
know
is?
her tonight. You will definitely know her tonight for sure.
Well,
Um,
KD, can I interject?
yeah, go ahead, Lyric.
So the like really when you brought up the topic and told me earlier, like the question that initially came to mind is like, well, misogyny is looked at as, or it is like oppression. So is
Yeah.
misandry justifiable response to misogyny, and like as I was thinking through it, I'm like, it's not like, yeah, they're gonna come up like old school was saying, like there's words that describe different things, it changes all the time, and that's gonna happen generation to generation, but is a response to anything that you dislike, I mean, speaking in general, it's like you don't like this, but your response is hatred. I was like that is strong and unnecessary in all cases because like you're trading, you're not even trading. Like you're not moving this pendulum into a positive movement or a positive response. It's more negativity poured into it, and it's like a phrase I used to hear all the time in Chicago is like you can't fight crazy with crazy. So you can't fight something that you see as negative with
Yes.
more negativity.
Yes.
No, I
That
agree.
makes sense.
It's
Makes
kind
sense.
of like there's a clear problem, right? And then you're adding an additional problem instead of a solution. It's like um it's like having a relationship. You're having relationship issues, whether it be communication issues or anything like that, and then you go outside of the relationship and cheat. Which now that you have marital issues, but now you have infidelity issues. So you just made things even worse.
Yeah, you're compounding the problem is
Correct.
what is happening there. And like the response with like hating and like absolute hatred, like the more like I read of like that definition, various different like platforms, it's like it's simply just a pure hatred of men based on the treatment of women and that women being oppressed. It's like, well, that's not going to get you out of oppression, because if that hatred plays out, I'm like, you're now treating people like crap, and some of them probably don't deserve it. Now there's some that aren't great people and the response that they get may be deserving, they may deserve that response, but like going at it like this seems to be a like a total reaction. It's like just every man everywhere, we just hate you, and that's going to make us more feminine. But that doesn't, and I can only speak for myself. I am definitely not putting words in anybody else's mouth, but I'm
Okay.
like, that does not feed my feminine energy. I'm like, hatred is more draining. I'm like, I would feel exhausted all day long to show pure hatred for a whole group of people. So all
Right.
of me, and every time I encounter a man, in business, that's all I encounter, every single day.
Right.
Like most businesses are male dominated. So if hatred is what I showed all day, that's exhausting, but
Yeah.
how is that going to move anything, if you walk into a room, and again, like for myself, if I go in and I'm having a meeting and I am just an asshole to every guy in there, that's the entire room. Like I'm just gonna be an ass to everybody. But where's at the end of the day, where is that gonna get me? And if they sit down and say, like, well, why are you being such an asshole? And I'm like, well, because I hate you. I hate you all because you're a man and you have a dick and you piss me off. It's like that's not gonna help me at all.
No,
See,
that
okay,
makes perfect sense.
yeah, you look at the other side of that. Like I say, after all the, we talked about bad situations. Personally, I've been through with women over and over and over. If I go out and say I hate every woman, come on, really? I, I don't hate all y'all because of the 30 I've been through. Okay, it's got to be some other ones out there. It may be hard to find, but realistically, using the word hate, no, just now I might be more protective. But when you start using the hatred word, it's like being a racist. I've had bad situations with white people. I mean, I hate all white people. I just beware of certain white people before I, engage with them. So when you start, like you said, when you start using the word hate just because of a few things that you encounter with a certain sex or whatever, you got issues beyond that. It's just, damn. Go find a mountain, hide yourself, or just put a bullet in your brain and go about your business. Shit don't make no damn
Yeah.
sense.
All right.
Lord, but then that goes into
Okay.
like recognizing like trauma. It's like people have trauma that they don't recognize. They carry that into all aspects of their life, and then when you're
Mm-hmm.
triggered by something, so let's say it be a man, like if men trigger me, but you haven't addressed your own triggers, and now you're like, it's the man's fault. They need to do that. It's like, no, in things like that, your mental health is you. You need to make sure that you are okay. You recognize your triggers. You recognize the hurt that you have in the past. And then you start recognizing like the people you can and cannot be around. I'm like, and that is just not like, it shouldn't be like totally just one gender, because I'm like, either gender can have these traits that can cause a trigger. But
Sure.
in this context, it's like, well, if you're triggered by men and this causes you to hatred, then that's something that you need to talk to a counselor about before you get the gun and put a bullet in your head.
Yeah, you can't go outside. Where you gonna go? You can't go outside. You can't engage. You can't do nothing. Everywhere you go, like a man. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna see a female. As a female, everywhere you go, you can see a male. So everywhere you go, you get triggered. You go have lunch. A male come up to you. He could be the nicest thing in the world. Say, "May I help you?" All of a sudden, you done cuss this man out. He's like, "What the hell did I just say to you?" That trigger go off. You might as well just hide your ass in the house again. Pull a button in your brain, because all you gonna do is make yourself miserable and everybody else around your ass.
Right.
That so what I've noticed in the in these spaces on YouTube, particularly between us as black men and black women, is you have a lot of individuals. I wouldn't even call it trauma bonding, but you have a lot of people that are capitalizing off of said trauma. So they use that to it's a hustle. It's the new hustle. You know what I'm saying? You got because you got cats within the black manosphere and the divestment movement that they come out day in and day out talking about how much they hate black women or how much they hate black men, and they do that because they have an audience that mirrors them in a way as an individual, their thought process and things of that nature, their ideologies. So and that's how they're getting their bag, and they got to keep peddling that propaganda in order to make sure that bag remains. What's happening now, and I'm actually glad to see this, what's happening now is that these individuals, these content creators, they're when they push this rhetoric, whether it's the hatred of men, or even the hatred of women, like Andrew Tate. I'm sure you've heard of this cat.
Yeah, I heard of Andrew Tate.
They just got done banning him from all social media platforms because of his misogynist, or what they call misogynistic views and talking points. They've striked him from social media altogether. Then there's this other chick, her name, what's her name, Nyla Vibes. She was big on YouTube. They just canned her. They just gave her the boot. She's not. They just took all of her. What was it? They not flagged all her channels. They just shut down all her channels.
Wow.
Because of the same thing, but on the just flipping the script. Because she, along with Cynthia G, Divested Zealot, Paris Milan, all these individuals.
Tanya TKO.
Right. All these individuals that that are on this goofy rhetoric, YouTube and the powers that be within or behind YouTube, I guess, are now getting hip, and they're slowly picking these individuals off to the point now. You got some of these. I just read up on something about Paris Milan now wanting to rebrand. A lot of them, what they're doing is they're rebranding.
Right.
So because they know what's coming. Like, you can't. There's no way that you can possibly be on this wave and think it's gonna last forever. So I don't know. There's a lot of consequences and repercussions that are happening or either about to happen to these individuals on both sides who express their hate and disdain for the other group. But it's almost expected to see that happen with men. Like when the whole Andrew Tate thing happened, I wasn't surprised by that. They just got done canning another cat named Sneeko. They just
Sneeko, yeah.
They just, but I saw the stuff that he was on, and I was like, "This."
Him and DJ Academic were just beta.
DJ Academics is a goofy.
is
Is
a
a
Easily.
whole
is
goofy,
a,
a
uh
whole
goof.
goofy individual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole like everybody that they run with, that just a bunch of goofy
Wow.
niggas. So, but yeah, man,
All
it's
right.
interesting to say the least.
It is interesting. I would agree. Did No Chill, did you have something else on the subject? Did you
I do
want
have
to
a question.
comment
And here's where my question comes from. Okay, we had gatekeepers who thought through and helped filter what access we have to the medium. You feel me? Like, we just couldn't get on a microphone and say whatever for shock value. No, we had to stay within a certain bubble. And thanks to social media platforms and the internet, we no longer have to go through a gatekeeper. Would we have to deal with what is it, 600 G or something? If he had to go through a gatekeeper, like, nah, your content is more harmful than good. Andrew Tate, would he have got the notoriety if he had to go through the gatekeeper? So who's a gatekeeper now through these social media platforms?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Exactly. Slow down and stop a lot of shit. Like, no, you're not going to be out here talking about our black women like this, not on this platform. We're shutting that down.
All right. All right. Well, we're gonna go into the next topic. So, well, the next subject matter, I should say. We're still on Misandry, but so can everybody see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So this is the post I had made today on my Facebook, and it says, "So why is misogyny always talked about in popular modern platforms, but misandry isn't?" And then I basically give the definition of misandry. So, um, why is that? Why am I just making stuff up, or is it talked enough in? And I'm talking about daytime TV. Is there any subjects on males being abused, uh, or is there just a segment on boys being sexually assaulted by teachers or older constituents that are to be entrusted, or why is that not being talked about enough, or is it being talked enough? Old school, we're gonna start with you.
Don't start me. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm like, still going like,
is
what
it
the
is it talked about is it talked about in daytime TV? Is it
I wouldn't
as
know.
far
I
as
don't watch daytime TV. I don't pay
okay?
attention to social media. I don't even know what the hell the subject about.
Is
You
there a
came on
reason
another,
why you don't watch daytime TV? Why is that?
yeah, because it's a full of
It's
crap.
catered to women, right?
Yeah, all daytime TV catered to women. All of it is daytime shows, soap operas, all that mess, commercials, things you sell, grocery store. Because men don't watch that crap. You know, no, yes it is. So I don't watch that mess. Well, none of it. So that's why I'm like lost on this stuff you're talking about. Whereas you mentioned, I have no idea. It's just another word about some more people who got a problem with another group of people. They come up with a
Mm-hmm.
new word to 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 identify these people. It's another damn prejudice. Whoopee. Majiggy this, Messiah this. I don't have a damn clue what the hell y'all talking about. A bunch of women who've been hurt in their life don't like men. Some
Right,
men in this world who've been hurt in their life don't like women. I
right,
call those people with issues, relationships, go get some help and either talk with each other and figure out what the hell y'all problem is, or quit coming together all these words and people got to figure it out. I got other things to do. I'm missing a football game about this dumb shit. Messiah, what the hell is this? So, dude, give me a subject I can really meld on. I don't even know what we're talking about.
all right.
Oh,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
the
Lyric, what do you got on the what do you feel? Do you think it's being talked about enough, or what do you feel about
Um,
the
I can't say like talked about enough. I can't say like I don't hear much about it. I don't watch daytime television. I do agree like it is tailored towards women, but I'm not like a drama seeker. So like watching all the soap operas and talk shows and stuff is not my cup of tea. But
Okay.
um like on other platforms and listening to people talk about like just how women are treated versus how men are treated, and um the conversation around like men's treatment has died down on the fact of like more feminists are like having leading these conversations, wanting women to have more power and stuff, which I can't say like is completely wrong, but the approach, I'm like there's a lot of worthy causes that can appear at any given moment, but it's how you go about it, and if you're going about it by promoting hatred, it's like, and I agree with like, if even with like race issues, it's like, well, if your platform is like to turn that hate towards another race, to turn that hate towards another gender, I'm like, you're not going to achieve what you think you are based off of that. And for guys, like I feel like more men has taken the platform. I think it was Nick like talking about like how they're talking about women, and or how women are approaching like getting their bag, getting their bills paid, and using guys for the most part, to get what they want, while like bashing them in the process. I don't know. I'm like this, the word is not used often. The description comes up every now and then, or the definition of it appears every now and then in different platforms and different topics. But I'm like, as far as like guys being represented well, they are not.
Okay. All right. All right. Great. Thank you for your response on that. I appreciate it. Uh, Nick, what's your thoughts on
Hmm.
it?
I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
See, see what I'm saying?
So
Okay.
this is what I'll say, because I was writing down some notes. Um, okay, first give me the question again. The
Okay, so the
topic again,
question, so
because I
so
want to make
uh,
sure I'm clear.
so why is misogyny always talked about in popular modern platforms, but misandry isn't?
Okay, I would
Is that
say,
yeah?
and these aren't like really my thoughts. It's just off of, it's mostly what I've observed as far as these conversations are concerned. Um, Many would say because of us living in a society that's mandated due to the patriarchy in which our society dwells in.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, a lot has been set up. They say a lot has been, it is said that a lot has been set up to benefit that of the man, more so the woman, the whole pay gap situation, um, the double standard talk, things of the like. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have a lot of women that have been empowered, and that just they're speaking out to those things. And we're seeing, I mean, we were seeing that in what, well, we were kids in the 90s, but if you go back to what was going on in the 90s, like
Mm-hmm.
all talk shows, Oprah, Sally Jesse Raphael, all of them, and talking about talking about issues in which women were having with men and things of that nature, on until where we're at now with social media, where you have platforms like YouTube, where somebody can fire up a microphone and have their channel popping and talking about whatever it is that they want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we're seeing a lot of that now. And I see articles, I've read articles, these personalities, content creators, influencers, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Right.
A lot of these, there's just been a growing number of women just expressing, their
You know,
disagreement, disdain,
well,
hatred,
Displeasure.
toward, right, all of that, towards men. Some would say in general. You got some women that'll be specific in whom they're talking about. targeting, because you got some that will say not all men, just some, or this certain archetype, and then you have those that just, with the broad stroke, they're painting all men as the men that they often encounter, or enable into their space. So
Okay.
then so because of these guys that they've experienced, it must be all of us who are like this, right?
Right.
So I think that's why we're hearing a lot of the pushback, or just, I don't know if I want to call it pushback. Um, I think that's why we're hearing a lot of these conversations um, come up about, more so than the because I don't take men to be. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and say men don't complain. Men do complain. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think that it's. I don't think that it's at the rate of speed in which a lot of women do, to the point where they make whole, you know, uh, uh, talking points about it. I mean, it's happening now. It's happening now. But like, I don't know, some years ago, I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember. I don't remember seeing a lot of this whole thing about like why misandrists are detrimental to men, and how
Mm-hmm.
they are causing harm to men, things of that nature.
Right.
And that's probably the ignorance on me, and just not simply like knowing. Um,
Right.
but but yeah, that's pretty much how I'm seeing. That's how I see it.
Okay, so we have a comment that just came up, and it said from Stephen, from from uh, yeah, Stephen. Men are known as aggressive and unkind. Hmm.
Well, isn't that
I mean,
like part of that
throughout
Huh.
masculinity?
history, is that would be true. If we look at history, right,
Uh
that would be true, correct?
huh.
White men specifically, I
Yeah.
would say
Yeah.
that. I'll die
Yeah.
on that hill.
Yeah. Okay. You have a point. You have a point. Lyric, what you have to say about this?
But in that, I mean, is that, do you feel like that's part of like that whole like toxic masculinity definition? Because like
Hmm.
the guys that are talking more now is like, okay, there was the toxic masculinity phase, and the guys didn't talk; they had to be tough, couldn't say anything, and
Mm-hmm.
then they started talking, And we don't
Right.
always want to hear what they have to say. And I like some of these guys don't need a microphone ever, but
Right.
like, but the whole like aggressive and unkind, it's like, yeah, that could be well, it is like the public opinion that guys have to present that way. But is that who they are and who they want to be, or is that like falling into the societal norms?
I think it's a bit of a. I think it was commercialized that way. I mean, because honestly, let's. I mean, we all. I think most of us have children in this room, and um, like for instance, if we have a daughter or something like that, you know, we teaching our daughter, hey, stay away from these boys, but we're saying it in a negative way. We never say that they. We never teach our daughters how to treat the opposite sex. It's always you're to be pandered to, you're to be catered to, you're the queen, you're the prize, you're the vessel of greatness, and he's lucky to have you. And I think we send these young women out into society where they don't have to treat, or they have the ideology where they don't even have to treat men good. They just have to look good and have something that they want between their legs, and that's farthest from the truth.
I
Um,
think. Go ahead, because I don't want to cut you off.
no, no, go ahead. I'm done.
I think I don't have any kids, but this is what I would, if I had daughters.
Hmm.
This is what I would tell them. It's respect is given. It's reciprocity. You cannot be
Hmm.
expectant of. You can't be expected of anything or anybody. You know what I'm saying? You give what you put out. You give folks the benefit of the doubt. give folks that grounds of respect up until they, disrespect you and get out of pocket
Mm-hmm.
with you. Then that's when you take the necessary steps, or say whatever it is that needs to be said in correcting that person, that man, or whatever, and his erroneous, yeah, him and the error in his ways. I don't.
Okay.
I'm always gonna. I am gonna provide and make sure my daughter is nourished and loved, and she will understand that you know this is how a man is should be treating you,
Mm-hmm.
catering to you, whatever.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like you can't. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna send her out into the world and thinking that you know she's some type of prized possession or whatever, and
Okay.
just like that's I don't know. You I don't there's
Okay.
got to be a balance, and that's what a lot of um that's what some women are missing, especially our women within our community. I mean, because
I agree.
most of us come from broken homes. We don't have fathers in the homes to even provide that balance,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, right?
Right.
That it sucks, but it is what it is. So,
I kind of
but
want to push back against you on that part, Nick. It's not always the fact that we don't have fathers in these homes. We having a couple fathers teaching this fuck their kids. Like there's a couple fathers who would spoil their daughters rotten, rotten, spoil them rotten, and then whoever dates their daughter has to spoil them too.
see, that's
They're not.
that's
That's a problem right there.
it
Look,
is it
ask
is a it is a
the one.
problem. I don't think I don't mean to cut you off. I don't think these guys are doing that necessarily to just like this is I'm gonna do this for you, and then just automatic like expect this from a guy. If he's not doing this for you and spoiling you and things of that nature, you don't have to. You don't have to meet him halfway, and you don't have to
Most
do for
guys who
him
have
and
daughters,
all of that.
most guys who have daughters only spoil their daughters on a fucking guilt trip. They know all the dog and shit they did to girls. So when
That's
they
the
get a
point.
daughter, they
Yeah,
say,
Ooh.
honey,
that's
they say, honey,
Ooh.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
this is what you
It's
don't put up with. This is
Okay. I
what you
didn't think
don't
about
do.
that.
This is goddamn right. I got a
yeah.
daughter. I have 5 sisters. I'm telling you. That's all that shit is. You spoil her
Mm.
because you know all the shit you did in your day. You say, I'm not having my daughter go through that shit. Instead of
Okay. So, all
also
right.
telling
Old
her,
school. Old school. Then let me ask you a question. Let me get
right.
into this comment real quick.
Mm,
Seriously, what is wrong with masculinity? I like being a man, and all it pertains. I agree. I don't think there's nothing wrong with masculinity. I think it's definitely being threatened in this society for sure. I mean, look at the shit that's happening. But that's beside the point. But my question to you, old school, is you being a father of a
mm,
daughter,
mm.
did you ever tell her how she should act in a relationship in catering to a man?
I taught her what I taught my daughter. What what I taught my daughter. First of all, as growing up as a daughter, I didn't spoil her, but I taught her to what to expect from a man if you want to be treated respectfully. I took her to
Mm-hmm.
the show. I took her to dinner, opened up a chair, opened up the door. Because I told her if a man cares about you, these are things he's gonna do for you if he gives a damn. Okay. But on the other hand, if you're gonna I taught her about how to judge a man. I taught her that, if you want to judge a man, figure out look and see how he treats his mother. If he treats his mother like shit, he'll treat you like shit. Okay? So, but you got to understand what you're going to accept as a person. I told my daughter, you're a woman, you're an individual. I, I, I set the bar for my sons and daughters to expect. I want you to be here. Now, whether you get there is on you. I open up the world for you to be the best you can. I give you every opportunity to be the best you can. But what I taught my daughter is understand you want to be respected, but learn how to give it. You can't be respected if you learn how to give respect. Keep your hands to yourself, but if you're looking for a strong man, If that's what you want, let him be that strong man. Don't try to get a strong man and control that strength. That's not what. That's not natural. I told her being a man who I am and what
Okay.
I've been through. I taught her. That first of all, no man. I never like one. I never try to spank my daughter because I always try to tell her I don't want no other man putting his hands on you, so I'm not gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to deal with you in a disciplined way. But the day I gotta strangle your ass is because you crossed that line. Don't think
Mhm.
I won't do it. But I've always taught I always never try to put my hands on my daughter because I never want no man to put their hand on her, and I'm gonna be the
Mhm.
first one not to. But if any
Mhm.
man is going to, goddamn, it's gonna be me, because I'm trying to put you in a position to be right, and you probably cross that line when you're just not where I think you should be. But I try to teach my daughter both sides. I try to teach her, to be. But if you want all these things, respect, to be loved by a man, to be taken care of by a man, to be that you're looking for, understand that there's something you got to give to get all that. It ain't just what's between your legs. You
You
better
gotta
learn how to
ins-
give it some upstairs, because something comes up here and here between your legs. That's gonna be last. But that's the things I taught my daughter. Like I said, take sex out the stuff. I taught her about everything else other than that. She's like, when she came to me talking about she was bisexual, at 13, I said, no, you're no sexual. Take your ass out here and do what you go do and learn and grow up and be a functional adult. Plain and simple. I
I
told
think
her,
folks
but I
gotta.
did teach her she was my princess. You are my baby. You are my daughter. And I ain't gonna allow
Mhm.
no man on this earth to hurt you. Understand that. And I let every man that know that's my baby girl. I know it's gonna be, but it's just like with my sisters. When I told my friends, my best friends, do not talk to my sister because I know I want to kill them. And if you talk to her, she gonna make you want to kill her. I'm going to kill you somewhere down the line because I know my sister. They're assholes, and you're gonna come across that. But I told my daughter that you're my princess. And if you want to find that man to teach you the same way, there's a certain way that you got to present yourself in a respectful way, in a loving way to get what you want. Plain and simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a comment here. Uh, I raised my daughter. She was my princess, but with discipline. That was required. I showed her what love was, and she would want the same. Hmm. Okay.
I
Yeah,
was
Um,
about
Nick,
exactly that.
what do you have to say?
instilling, just planting those seeds and instilling, core values and principles in our daughters, and not just our daughters or sons too.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
word cater is cool, but I think the way that I would phrase it is the way that I just started to, instilling core values and just planting the seeds, giving those giving my daughter the proper tools to know what to go out there and not just be an upright standing citizen, right? um but when she does get into a relationship, she'll understand what it is to be um the proper and functioning a partner, to
Mm-hmm.
whomever it is that she's with. So she'll understand that. She'll be able to recognize red flags and address those red flags, excuse me, accordingly, right?
Right.
Rather
Right.
than because a
And,
lot
and
of
where
us,
you and where you, and where you learn that from? You before you became a
you learn
parent,
that.
where you learn it from? From the relationship you were in, the stuff that you did. So everything you did with a woman, you're gonna say, I'm not gonna let my daughter
But
go
old
through
school,
it.
but old school. Before that, though, all due respect. So, but before that, I think the child is going to learn that from the parent, and how the parent is, you know, how they're moving around them. Your kid sees you before they get out into the world and get into these relationships with these people, right?
That's
Yeah,
true. It's
but what
true.
I'm
Right.
saying is
So, so
before
I,
you
I hear what
before
you're
you
saying.
become a family, before
Mhm.
you become a parent, you become a man out there experiencing stuff, and everything you go through, even when you learn being with a woman, or learning what you, if you got siblings like a sister, you watch them growing up, what you experience before you become experienced a parent as a man dealing with other women. leads you to what you would do when you have a daughter, because you look at what you've been through and what you don't want her to go through.
I
And the
mean,
only
right.
way you know that, only way you know that until you experience it. Because you're not taught that. Yeah, in a book you learn it, in a book you read it, you learn it from experience. It's on the way.
I think it's a little bit of both, because I mean, you got kids that come up and they see how their parents are interacting with each other, or how their parent is interacting with their new wife, husband, whatever, step parent. They see that. And if they see something that is more so fruitful than dysfunction, then they'll, I mean, you hear people talk about, like, this is how my parents got down when I was coming up. So this is what it is that I want. These are and these can be people that have yet to be in like a fully functioning relationship. They just know that based on what I seen growing up with my mom or with my dad, and how he treated my mother, or with my grandfather and how I seen him, and how he was doting on my grandmother. That's what I would like, right? And then you
Okay.
can compound that on top of what you're saying too, because you're not wrong. Experience is definitely like the one of the best teachers out there, as far as life goes, right?
Yeah.
So I think a bit of both of those things helps out. But I just I don't I think it starts, though. The foundation of all of this starts in the home, and with how these parents are moving around their kids, and what they're dumping into them.
Oh, most
Um,
definitely, most definitely. But like you
we
said,
got
with
we
the
got
experience you have, not
mhm.
every person
That's
comes up in
true.
a
That's
a good home or a bad,
you're you're you're
a
you're
great
absolutely
home.
right. You're absolutely
So
right.
you take those experiences and you go on, and after that, what you experience afterwards, you have to blend all that together before you become a parent, whatever else. So all that comes true before you establish your own home. But your home life as you come up, and your experiences before you become a parent, becoming that one relationship that you create, that all comes from your past experience.
Trace just got into the building. Appreciate you being here, sir. Uh, say hi to the people.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My bad. Sorry, I'm late. Got a lot going on, but I just wanted to tap in with y'all real quick.
Yeah,
Hope
it's
everything
good.
is all good with y'all.
We cooking. You want to tell them about your new EP that's out? Tell them to go.
Oh yeah, all right. SR Trace just came out with a new EP, Monotone 2. I also got a video out on the list. Go to YouTube and check it out. SR Trace, S.R. Trace. Please support. I appreciate y'all.
And you got a show coming up too, I think.
I do have a show November 13th. November 13th at the Roxy at 7 p.m. Come and join me. I'll be on the stage. I'm not sure how long I'll be on there yet, but yep, November 13th, 7 p.m. at the Roxy.
All right, y'all heard it first here. Appreciate you being on the show, sir.
Yeah,
Um,
no worries.
Lyric, what have you been getting from this conversation? A little bit. What just
Well,
I didn't want to.
yeah, I'm like a lot. I'm like, because
Because I know you've been writing. Because you be writing notes.
yeah, I know. I'm like, I've been taking notes over here because it's, I'm like, it's a lot to unpack. And like, even speaking about like relationships, like I've said this and I'll say it again that, as far as like a good example of a healthy relationship, when I look back in my past, I don't have a good example of a healthy relationship. Although like my dad, like as far as like talking about like being in a relationship, we didn't have those conversations. So the conversations that would be or would have been beneficial would be like boundaries and how to communicate with one another and not argue, but have a discussion. That it's
Right.
okay to end that discussion if you're not like getting to the point of like still hearing each other, it's okay to end that. Like those are all things that have been learned, now. And even the fact that a healthy relationship can also be healing, because you can sit down and have these conversations, set up these boundaries. Like if there is a way that I want to be treated, it is okay for me to say that, now going to, and it's okay for the guy to say, I'm not going to do that. Like, if I turn around and say like, you know what, we just met yesterday, I need you to pay my rent, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, cool. I mean, he just made his own decision, I'm like, that is not, but if I say that and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, that's not going to be my role in your life. And that's okay too. But these conversations, aren't happening. Talking about boundaries is not happening. Telling people like it's okay to let people know how you want to be treated, and it is okay for them to opt out. It is okay for you to say no. Like, I don't necessarily agree with like the mainstream, all of like the music and how like women are talking about treating guys, or how guys, talk about treating women and using them. It goes both ways. But if that is the boundary they've set up and said like, hey, this is how I want my relationship to look like, and you decide to go with it, then brother or sister, that's on you. You can't be mad about it because they've told you.
Like I said, how much it cost you? Ask them up front.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just said what I said. How much it gonna cost me? All that comes into play. How much? All that.
Are you willing to pay that price?
Thank you. If you tell me up front, I know up front.
So
how much is it going to cost her to talk to me? We talk about how men are always paying the cost to deal with it.
Both ways, yeah.
But a lot of women don't understand. You got to pay the cost to be the boss to do what it do. This is a shortage. Women outnumber men. So why am I going to have to deal with your tomfoolery and fuckery when I can just step over here and somebody can help boost me up and make me better? Why do I need to be your sponsor? Do you need a sponsor or a companion? Because sometimes you can't fucking have both.
Right. But that's even going back into boundaries. It's like, if you don't want to be in that type of relationship and you're saying like, hey, I want to be with somebody that is like encouraging in this way or doing these things, those are conversations that should be happening up front, but they're not. These conversations are coming up late in the relationship, like years have passed, or and now you're stating, I want you to do this. It's like, so dating right now, and I would consider myself being in a good relationship now, but looking back at like the relationships that I've been in, I'm like, it took us years to have conversations. We should have had the first month. Like, why am I finding a year later that this was your expectation of the woman that you wanted to be with? Or why are you finding out that this is the expectation of the man that I want in my life, and we are 2 years in? Like, that's ridiculous.
Right. Thank you. I've said it again. How much it gonna cost me? Get it out the way now. Get it out the way so you understand. But 10 years down the road, and now you want a divorce because you just figured you just said about this before. Well, hey, again, I've said it before. I'm gonna keep saying it. Get that question out first, honey. This is who I am. This is what I want you. So how much is it gonna cost me to deal with your butt? Let me know now. Let me know.
All right.
Now. So,
well, we got a video. This is old school favorite part.
Oh Lord.
So we've got a video. It is brought to you by his channel is called, shout out to this brother, Goldilocks Reacts. So he's like a reaction channel. And Goldilocks. Goldilocks Reacts.
Okay. All right. I love that name.
So you know that name?
I don't.
Never
heard of it.
All right. So the
Goldilocks.
So the video is called Cynthia G says abort all black male babies. If you want to know somebody who is the definition, who uh, is the poisonous doctrine of misandry. This is the woman here. This is the clear question of who hurt you. Okay. Yes, the title said Cynthia G says abort all black male babies.
Right. That's the thing. Why do we need a bunch of men around here who serving absolutely no purpose? Like, why do we need that? But what we do know is they don't pose a benefit, but they pose great harm. They pose a great harm to you, unfortunately, because they don't value you. You can't even go to a store and buy wine without one of them trying to eat your eye out of your socket because you don't want them to.
Yeah.
If you're one of
What?
The hell?
What are these hoes be talking about, man?
they'll hit you in the face with a skateboard.
No.
Don't share your pandemic funds with them. We see what's happened since money is a little bit scarce for some of them now, how they behave. And really just even thinking about that, like Black women have to take control of their own protection. And this may be a way of protecting yourselves because there is nobody threatening your safety more than they are.
They're not.
They don't want to protect from the men that are, quote unquote, violent. If they feel like the majority of them are not violent, are not doing these things, if they feel that way, then they should be actively taking out the polites of the world. The R. Kelly, they be the ones getting to them for anybody.
But they're not. They're defending them, though.
Right.
So Princess Z said it will probably be in Black women's best interest to close shop. I have heard men say after a woman has a baby, she needs to work and help provide for the household. These men want Black women to do 50-50, which we all established is 90-10, have kids and be disrespected. Well, and the thing is, because that's the culture. That's the culture of the community.
It's a plantation. Have the babies and work.
Yep. And so I was like literally right before I got on here as I was getting ready, I was listening to the playback. Let me read this super chat and then I'll say what I heard. It says, Tara Bradford said the only purpose Black men have in this world is to be a shining example of what not to be. That's it. Yeah, and unfortunately they're not striving to be any more than that. They're what Black women need to understand is Black men are completely comfortable not doing anything for you. They're comfortable, they're fine with that, just not providing anything to you. They're comfortable being a burden on you. But
me and her.
Whoa. They're comfortable of being a burden to Black women. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say. Like, she really really feels this way.
What do you say? What do you say? She's mad. She's mad at what happened to her in her life, and she's gonna have other women listen to this, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
I addressed this earlier in the conversation. I don't agree with any of her rhetoric in regards to just the topic in it. The topic in it. I actually sat and listened to that panel. It was her, Nyla Says, Nyla Vibes, whatever the fuck she calls herself.
Yeah.
Tanya TKO. And
Tanya TKO's in there. Wow.
She was on that, and surprisingly, well, to my surprise, Tanya TKO was like, "Yeah, I'm not with this. I'm not with any of what you're talking about," and she actually bowed out of the conversation. So even Tanya TKO was just like, "Yeah, I mean, this ain't it. This is pushing the line." So
because she still has a brand. Yeah, she knows that some men support her.
I mean, that could be the case, but I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I tuned into that panel, and
right.
I don't know. I think that Tanya was just like, we say and we talk a lot of shit about black men, and we have our viewpoints and things of that nature. But when you're talking about genocide of your own kind, your own people, you know, that's nah.
Right.
You're talking
Okay.
about innocent. You're talking about innocent life that hasn't even began life. So you're taking
Right.
your frustrations and your traumas and things that you unfortunately experienced with the black men in your life, and you're taking it out on, like I said earlier, that broad stroke. You're
Right.
painting everybody, including these young boys, babies that
Right.
haven't even. I don't know. It's a weirdo flex to have. But this is, I mean, this is what it is. This is what's.
I want to address something that they spoke about real quick. They talk about protection, and that's something I do see from a lot of these women who spit the same rhetoric. The number one thing they fall onto is protection. But here's my question: why the fuck should I protect you when you don't value me?
And this is what we get a lot. We get that all. That's a great question, because we get, and this is really specifically black women saying that, oh, well, black women need to be protected. But it's the same narrative of these black women saying they don't need a man for shit. Men ain't shit. Ain't never gonna be shit. I'm independent, strong, independent black woman.
Well,
You know
then
what I'm
here's
saying? But then
the
they also get pissed when we bring up the concept of passport bros. When motherfuckers is not, and it even said in the definition that of misandry, that the atmosphere that really solidifies this misandry ideology is the United States in the Western hemisphere. The westernized. That's why everybody's going to the East. It's indoctrinated in here. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be very clear. The feminism movement started in 1862 by 3 white women. 1862, black people didn't even have fucking rights. So it really boggles my mind when women feed into this feminist bullshit when it was never even set up for you in the first place. It was always to cater to white women and the white ideology, and it had everything to do with white supremacy. Because if you divide, then you conquer. If you know that if you get the black woman to go against the black man, there you go. There is that means there is no more children being born. There is no communication. They're at odds. They feel that they don't need each other. That's where we can go ahead and slide in on our ideology, which is the government, Big Daddy government, and say you don't need a man, you have us. And here's all the benefits and the resources that we'll provide to you. But you can't have a man in the home. You can't have a man in the home. Because we're Big Daddy government. And we're always going to take care of you. We're going to make sure you get child support. We're going to make sure you get housing. We're going to even send you checks. We're even going to put you in. There's more governmental resources for black women than there are black men.
Yeah, but when that man come home that made those babies to whoop your ass, we ain't gonna do nothing. We ain't gonna be men to stand up. Let the police do it. They ain't gonna do nothing. So yeah, you don't need.
And here's the thing:
Obama
even tried to have a program for specifically for black men. It was called My Brother's Keeper. And guess who had an issue with it? Black women. Not white women, not even white men. Black women had issues with that because they were like, well, you're just catering to black men. But you already have resources.
They had a problem with the Million Man March. That's why they had to have a Women Man March.
Oh.
They had a problem with 1 million men black men getting together. So they had to make sure they had and didn't invite them. So now we have to make sure they have a black women march. Why?
Right.
We're not contesting. We're not, you know, competing. We just trying to establish our manhood in this goddamn country, and we couldn't get total support from that.
And
in establishing said manhood, I don't think that you should allow the feelings or thought processes of a woman, or at least a certain archetype of woman, to steer you off of that track. So just
I
because
agree.
just because they don't agree with it for whatever reason, I mean, I don't think that we as black men should sit around. I'm not saying that we do. I'm just simply, suggesting that we shouldn't sit around waiting on anybody to give us anything or put a program together for anything. Like we know what the past is, we know history, we know all of that, right? So in knowing all of that, instead of sitting around complaining about this, that, and the third, or what women are doing, or what women say, I think it would be most beneficial for us as black men to huddle up and get things. And I'm not saying that it's not happening. I would like to see more of that.
Yeah,
Right?
I honestly, to tell you the truth, I think black men are actually doing and the stats show it on black demographics that time. Black men are actually thriving more, um, uh, getting even better, more successful
Right.
in their purpose now. Even states that.
Because one thing we know, women for the most part, they're gonna talk. That's what they do.
I want to build on. Sorry, Nick, I don't want.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to cut you off, Nick.
No,
I
go
want
ahead.
to build of more black men huddling up, but we also have to have an understanding we can't save every black man, and we're gonna have to leave a couple of us behind. Because if we're not willing to get the program and build with the community, then we need to kick you. You need to kick rock. We can't keep you around.
I hear you on that one, and I've often said in these topics of discussions, groups that I'm in and whatnot. Me personally, I don't think that there's a black community anymore. You have a community of black men and you have a community of black women, and they both hate the fuck out of each other. And we're seeing it in real time, not just on social media, not just through these weirdo talking points like what we're going over right now. We're seeing it in actualization offline too, right? So my thing is, you need to, or we should get going to No Chill's point. You got a lot of everybody ain't gonna make it off the plantation, as the saying goes. So, a lot of lackluster Negroes, a lot of lackluster niggas that cannot get with the program, and not because they can't get with it, they simply just don't want to get with whatever they don't want to get on board with the like-minded individuals, black men and women, who want to thrive and progress and be fruitful, so that we can actually have a damn black community and be where we should have always been in society, in this society. You know what I'm saying? You got to get rid of the coons, the bed wenches, and the double agents. It's just that's just how that's the only way I see that happening. Because otherwise, as long as they are allowed to run rampant and spread these disgusting fucking, talking points, ideologies, pseudo intellectual banter that they are on day in and day out, that they unfortunately get paid to fucking talk about day in and day out, because again, going back to their demographic, their audience that mirrors their thought process, it mirrors them. When I see a black man talking about crazy shit in regards to black women, and I mean, there's points where I'm just like, okay, I get it. Hold them accountable. But we're not going to sit up here and we're not going to get anywhere just complaining about fucking women all day. And I would say the same thing with women, black women talking about black men all day. You're not going to, what is this really, how is this serving you? Outside of you and your damn, Cash App and your super chats getting banged on or whatever, how is this serving you? Are you really for your people? Are you really for black women? Are you living whatever it is that you're talking? Are you walking it how you're talking it? I would go ahead and venture to say that a lot of these cats in these spaces, they're not doing that. They're simply putting on a front for their benefit. Kind of like a dirty ass politician.
I mean, yeah.
They're surrounding themselves with people who think like them, that like mirror leadership. It's like mirror leadership is dangerous. I don't want to be surrounded by people who think exactly like me, because your thought is never challenged.
Especially if it's negative.
Especially if it's negative, and this lady here, like, aborting all Black male babies. I'm like, I mean, there's already so much hatred for the Black man in society, period. And like saying something like that on your platform is horrible. And having people support that, but most people don't leave like their comfort. So if they've like grown up and they may like think different, or they've been around these people their whole lives, like they may start thinking different, but they're not going to leave, because that takes courage. That takes courage to say, I don't agree with what you're saying, or to speak up on those things. If they're sitting around bashing men, or men sitting around bashing women, they stay in those spaces because they don't, it's uncomfortable to go somewhere else. It's uncomfortable to leave that space, which is, it's sad, but it does take courage to stand up and say, I don't agree with that. We shouldn't be talking about this negativity. We shouldn't be bashing people. We should be together as a community, and that should look like, more supportive, more positivity, and not solely based on the people that you have dealt with. Because a lot of that, I do agree, is like the experience that they've had is like, oh, I've only dealt with, no good men, no good women. It's like, then why do you keep picking those no good men, no good women? Why do you stay there until you're completely jaded? Again, like you've maybe met people that have been in a relationship like 10 years. It's like you're unhappy. Y'all don't mesh together, but you still there. You won't leave.
But the thing is, I think it also, you are what you attract. You are. You are what you attract. I really truly believe if you put something positive out into the universe, it'll come back to you. If you're genuinely a good person, I do believe good things will happen to you. I'm not saying that you won't be challenged on things, because I think you're built to handle those for a reason. But I do
I'm
believe.
waiting. What's my problem? I've been waiting.
What you
what are you talking about? You go through these relationship with people, and they'll present themselves to be this. And like I said, they'll tell you all the right things to get what they want. But then you find out 10 years down the road, all that shit ain't true. That's why I'm back to square one. Find out that shit in the beginning. How much is it gonna cost me to deal with your ass? But 10 years down the road, you find out shit that you should have found out in the beginning. That's because you don't talk about it, you don't ask the right questions. The thing that you think is going to come out as you engage each other, y'all get to know each other, bullshit. Because there's things people don't tell you, they may not think you might not understand, and they may not ever get out. And I can tell you examples of it. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. I mean, like I told you, and then going back to personal stuff, when I had an ex-wife tell me after I tried to get back on the second time that God came and told her when she was pregnant with her son that he was going to be gay, and she just told me that shit when I first met her, I'd have ran for the fucking hills. I didn't get that, goddamn it. I didn't get that. I got that 10 years later. See, that's something in somebody's brain that did not tell you. Just again, people don't tell you everything about themselves. They don't know how you're going to accept it. They may not tell you everything to a point where they may have a goddamn STD. They want you. They may not tell you until you find out later on down the road. You better find out in the beginning. That's why I tell you, ask them questions. I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I'm presenting you. This is Michael. Now, how much is it going to cost me to make you my ride and die? What is it going to cost me? What is it going to cost me mentally, physically, financially, spiritually? I want to know now. Now, 10 years down the road, when I got to divorce you because you're a nut, it's going to cost me everything I got. Let's get this out the way now.
All right, we're going to get this video.
Ask those questions ahead of time. It's like, but what, and back to what you said, Katie, like you do attract, you guys are handsome, intelligent men. You're going to attract women and you may even attract men, but you're going to have to say, but you're going to have to say, ask those engaging questions in the beginning, but the
Yes.
questions cannot be superficial. You have to ask those deep questions and not let the person get away with just those one word answers,
You're
because
right.
that tells you too. It's like, oh yeah, no, It's like, well, what do you mean by no? Like, if you ask them, like, what is your definition of cheating? What do you believe in abortion? What is your stance on this?
Yeah.
You know, like all of these things that if something comes up in life, you're like, okay, we have either the same or similar. You're not going to agree on everything, but you'll know where you got excuse me. Excuse me, you'll have an idea of where you guys may differ in your opinions, so you're not finding that stuff out 10 years later. And again, like, who you attract doesn't mean you have to accept that person into your life. You know, you're going to attract a lot of people in, you know, even male friends. They may gravitate towards you because you have such a vibrant energy. You're a welcoming person, you know, whatever the case may be. But if they start divulging things and you're asking more questions, you don't agree with it, then it's time for you to cleanse your circle. They don't need to be in there, and let them go on about their business, you know. And that, the more, so one of my previous jobs was as a case manager for the rescue mission. That was some of the big conversations that we had about, oh my God, fuck.
What happened?
Yeah, I heard the F word.
I don't know
She
what
was
happened.
gone.
She was on a roll there. She was cooking.
Right.
She was cooking.
That math was bouncing, baby. Like that.
What happened?
Okay. Sweet. But we gotta start asking the following question.
No, you're right. I agree. We
Are we going to be together? If shit gets real, are you going to call the police on me? Like, these are things you have to ask.
Right.
No, you serious, man?
I think that's a legitimate question. How many?
Do you like to argue? You want to argue all night? You want to do you argue?
Do you care? Do you care about being happy? Do you care about being? Do you care about being right or happy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's
just hear yourself talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. That's an important question to have, because I don't know what happened, Lyric. You was on a roll. You was preaching.
Man, my computer died.
You was on a roll. I was like, wait a minute, where'd she go?
I know. I'm like, damn, computer.
You let us down now. We down now. We don't hit no more.
You don't hear what I have to say because I was talking and that damn computer died.
He was waiting for it. Like, oh no, you gonna finish this topic?
But no,
girl. You go, girl.
So first of all, before we finish up, is everybody enjoying the topic? Is this an interesting topic?
I'm just figuring out what the topic's about. It took me 30 minutes, but I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was just catching on myself.
Now I'm trying to get this. Okay.
So let's continue this video real quick.
Glasses on.
Oh no, not the video.
I don't even need these to see, and hers look like the same brand as mine. I have perfect vision. I just wear these just because to be different. So I know hers fake too.
That I was on, tasked with trying to work through the Tyrone syndrome and get them to understand a certain point that they were not getting. But he said that the biggest threat to a Black woman is a Black man, which it is. And what I notice about these dudes is that they'll sit up here and in one breath, they'll say, oh, the Black man is the best option for a Black woman. She shouldn't go to any other group of men. But whenever you bring up the Black man's ills, he says, oh, well, other men do that too. Okay, so if you're not going to be better than other groups of men, if you're going to pose the same threat as other groups of men, you're not going to rise above, you're not going to be an example of how you're better, then why wouldn't she go to another group of men? Because those men serve the same threat, but they have more resources than you do. But they're more likely to get married than you are. They're more likely.
Because, bitch, we've been systematically oppressed. We're the most systematically oppressed. I don't think people understand. more black men get killed in a month than black women get killed in a year. Dog, it's like they really got into her head. I'm not gonna say all black women because that's how these problems get started, bro. It's like y'all generalize shit that she's saying like right now. They're more likely to get married. Like women like her, and I hate to keep on saying this, but I'm not trying to generalize shit. You'll see like with 5 black dudes with white girlfriends, they'll turn around and apply that shit to every nigga on the planet, which never made sense to me. Niggas get rejected every day, but you never see a black man starting a whole page and running a whole YouTube channel about how black women don't like him, or black women are the problem, or black women need to be in jail, or calling black women bullet bags and shit like that. Nigga, it's so many hate pages for us, dog. Like this shit so weird, like bro. And I don't mean to get deep, and I don't mean to get like real deep and fucking philosophical and shit, but nigga, like we were the first 2 people on the planet. Like we were the first 2 beings God put on the planet. Nigga. It was us. Took the rib out Adam, made Eve, nigga. And to see how far we just separated from each other, bro. Like the division, like nigga, the government won, bro. Like the Illuminati won. Like they literally been spending thousands of years trying to split us apart. And then they got fucking puppets like this bitch right here with this fucking with this bullshit. She has multiple videos speaking exactly like this, putting this shit in real young girls' heads and shit, bro. Just passing this shit down from generation to generation. This is gonna become tradition and shit, man. But just man, let me just get back to
likely to raise their children than you are. So it's like, why wouldn't you choose another group of men? And the thing is, I didn't even mention anything on that panel about choosing another group of men. I just said I'm choosing to close my womb off to male children who are black. That's all that I said, because I would feel like I'm contributing to a problem, because I know I don't have control 100% on how my male son turns out, because it is the older males who are inducting these younger males into dust. They're doing it. They're passing on this pumpered up culture. They're telling them not to value you because you're black. They're telling them to put other races of women on a pedestal above you because these women are better. They're saying that they can go out because they carry the seed and the egg.
Mind you, she does have black children by black men. Just want to throw that out there. So sounds like a whole fucking hypocrite, but
apparently they carry the fertilizer and the seed, so they're saying that they can create black children with any group of women. So I say let them.
Yeah, let them. And that's the thing. Like it's what's going on really is the.
And to all the white dudes out there with black girlfriends, nigga, make sure your girlfriend love you for you, and it's not just with you to get a reaction on niggas. That's why I see a lot of like, bro, you'll see. Put it to you like this, because I got a friend with a white girlfriend, dude. If we don't react the way they would in that situation, you get shit like this. They'll see an interracial couple with a nigga and his white girlfriend. They'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Just cause a big uproar and shit like that. We can see that shit and we'll dap the white dude up. Cause it ain't no hate. It's always a fight. It's always an argument from bitches like this. This lady this is the wildest shit I ever heard in my life. This bitch literally talk about aborting male black babies. Ma'am, you would be gone too. Everybody on this earth is a nut. I don't think y'all understand. Y'all come from us. The first man on the planet was black. Everybody comes from us. That shit don't make sense. If we die, you die.
the awakening. It really is the reckoning. They are getting what they've been asking for. They've been telling Black women that they have the seed, that they have the life source and all of this kind of stuff, and that any child that they have is Black. And so Black women are responding with, well, go make your Black children elsewhere.
Well, the thing is, Black men do not see themselves in their biracial male children. They just don't. They don't. They don't accept their, like, if a Black
that's
man.
why they want them. That's why they want them, because they hate themselves.
Right. And they don't. They know that these men
Definitely don't hate ourselves. Like I said, I want y'all to look at the difference between interracial couple involving a Black man and a white girl, between the interracial couple involving a Black woman and a white man. 9 times out of 10, if you see a nigga with a white girl, you know what I'm saying, his personality for the most part is the same. Nigga still dress the same, still listen to the same music. Nigga still look the same, got the same dreads, waves in his head. You see a Black woman with a white man, either two things gonna happen. Either she gonna change everything about herself, or she gonna change everything about him. Either that nigga gonna have a beard with a low cut, tattoos all over him, and a chain, basically gonna try to turn him into one of us, or she gonna straighten the fuck out of here. Bitch gonna listen to country music. Bitch gonna dress weird. She gonna start going to Starbucks and shit. Bro, it's that self-hate. I don't even want to talk like this, and I don't want to cause no more division in the community, because that's what's happening right now. This lady is a product of propaganda to split us up, bro. I never thought. I don't even want to listen no more of this shit, bro. For real, because it's kind of fucking me up. It's like,
really? Man, cut
All
this
right.
shit off.
Well, I mean, I think we get the
damn.
point.
I got the point 20 minutes ago. Just bullshit. First of all, if I heard him describe a Black man as a nigga one more time, I'm gonna reach through his feet and slap the fuck out of him. You know, why you talk about a white man as a white man and a sister, a Black woman, but a Black man got to be a nigga? Fuck you, you weird looking, weird top wearing bastard. Shut the fuck up. Well, listen to your dumb ass. First of all, you don't respect us as Black men because you're using the word nigga talking about me. Screw you. Well, listen to your dumb ass. Respect us, respect you, then you'll get that first word. Every time he described us, he used the N-word. But when he talked about a Black woman and a white man and a white woman, he gave them their respect. Why can't we get ours? This is part of the problem right there. You see the describing me, and I'll use words that nigga word. I ain't that. I wish I could talk to that brother right now. Because you are what you are, and I ain't that. That's our first problem right there. We got to stop living that damn word because we're starting to act like the word. That's half his problem with most Black men today. We need to get the hell away from that damn word.
Okay.
Have some pride in ourselves as men.
Let's get Trace on the conversation real quick. How do you feel about the video, sir? Trace?
You probably would just sleep like the rest of us. This shit was boring.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I tuned out of it, but yeah,
what did you think about that disturbing ass video?
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bro. I feel like there's truth on both sides where he's coming from, but there's a truth for where she's coming from. She's coming from a specific place. Like you said, she's been hurt. Obviously, she has Black kids, so that's why she's mad, because she's been with Black men before. You know what I mean? She has that experience. Obviously, it wasn't good for her, so that's how she's
I'm
feeling.
talking about factually. She's talking about aborting male Black babies. Where is she right at?
Say that one more time.
Where in what way is she right as far as her talking about aborting specific male Black babies? How is she right?
I didn't hear that part. I didn't
That's
hear
what I'm
that
talking
part.
about. That's what the video is about. Is about
But
her
some
talking
of the
about
things that she was saying, you know what I mean?
like what?
There's some truth to it.
What things?
He believes in truth.
All right, I'll be transparent. There's been a time where I did hate myself.
Okay.
I do have pent up anger and aggression, and it seems to be a normal thing for me. I don't know if there's men out there like that, but there's truth to that. Why am I so angry?
You could be angry, Trey, but you think all the stuff you've been through that might have been negative, you think you should have been aborted?
And do you
No,
think that
hell no.
and do you think other
So
black
that's the whole
babies?
thing about it.
Right.
Regardless of what black men have been through or whatever, how could you sit there and say that all black babies should be aborted? You may
Right.
be mad at yourself, but you feel whatever you've been through as a man, I should have been aborted. Come on, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
my bad. I missed that part. I
Yeah,
didn't
bro.
hear
That's why
that.
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about
Yeah.
she specifically said, and then she said black males are put on this earth for basically no reason. We're here basically.
We're just
We
here.
hold no value in this society as
Well,
black
we
men.
all know that ain't true.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What part you said? Some of the things that she said were true.
But that's what I
What?
was saying when she said men they're angry. You know what I mean? Like, it was something that she said along the lines of a black man being angry, and I just, it's just an experience of mine, So
Yeah, but doesn't mean that you don't deserve
but on the
life.
same side, I'm a king, bro. Like, I stand 10 toes down, man. I'm a black man through and through. It
Okay.
ain't no damn way anybody gonna sway what I got going on with their opinion. That's her opinion. They're scared. Everybody's scared of the black man. Realize what you have, dog. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But I guess what I'm saying is that with her saying, I mean, yeah, she has an opinion.
I'm not saying she's
I'm not
right.
saying she doesn't have a First Amendment opinion. That's
I was
fine.
just saying
But
some
there's
of the things
consequences there's going to be consequences in the narrative that she spin because she has a large following of mostly women who are going to pick up this ideology, who are going to be future, hopefully, birth givers of this society. And if she's spinning that narrative saying, oh, well, young women or women in general, and obviously young women, because we're talking about geriatric pregnancies at 35. We're not saying that women can't have. But what I am saying is that we're talking about the young mothers out there. Hey, if you have a baby, make sure it's a white one, or make sure it's a black female baby. If it's a black male baby, abort it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You have to be shitting me right now. You have to be shitting me. So
but though that's not a new thought process though, KD. If you go back and look at the movie School Days, how they projected the dark skinned blacks having issues with the light skinned blacks. That's actually
the wannabes versus the jigaboos.
Yeah, that's actually an issue that was going on in the 80s and early late 70s. That sisters,
real shit.
I mean, I got a sister who's light skinned that won't date a dark skinned man. because she didn't want her kids to be nappy head black kids.
Wow.
One of my sisters was like that, and I'm a dark skinned brother. My mother dark skinned. I'm like, really? So that thought process has been there for years. There's actually been, I mean, there's been sisters that would, I don't want no a mix, a light skinned male because I don't want my baby to be mixed. I want a strong black man, you know, just like that. If you look at Malcolm X's mother, she was Cajun, light skinned mother, but she got her a dark skinned man because she wanted all her babies to be dark skinned boys. Because what they had to deal with during that time. So that thought process is there years ago.
Okay. Nick, I'm sorry. Hold on. Before I get to you, Nick, I'm sorry, I forgot about you. Lyric, what is your thoughts on?
Don't forget about me, Katie.
My bad. I'm being transparent. I apologize. What do you think about the video? Man. What do you think?
I'm like, well, that video is horrible. Like, it is horrible. Ain't nothing in there that, you know, she should to be on the air and promoting something like that. I'm like, as I said before, society already wants to kill our black men, wants to, you know, make sure that black men and women are separated because they know how strong we are together. They know how strong black men can be. And so whatever they can do to put them down, like, they're going to do it. And talking about aborting all black boys, I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, I have a son and I'd be damned if somebody tell me like, oh, if it's a boy, you have to get rid of it. You know, I would never adapt that mindset, and like to use your platform to encourage something like that is horrible. Right. And like old school was talking about, as far as like, it's such a slave mentality, like the colorism. You know, that goes back to slavery. It's like, well, the lighter, fairer skin, you get to be in the house, you know, dark
big
skin,
house.
you outside. You know, you gotta be out there. But when you look at like generations changing, not everybody has changed with the generation. That mindset has followed, and people are still adapting to that, where colorism is within our own society. Yes, you know, it's like, if you are not a certain color, or if I don't have like the darkest child, like they're not pure black, you know, you're not black stuff like that. That even goes into like personality, as a young man was talking about. Like interracial dating, like people kind of like changing and adapting. Like, I don't agree with that totally when getting into like an interracial relationship. It's just, there are things that are within our own society that if we don't do it the same as everybody else, then you are not black. You know, you're a different type of black, or you white. You know, it's like, you know, you hear people being called Oreos and stuff like that. It's like, well, if I don't stay exactly the way you think black should be, then I'm not accepted in my own society. Like, or my own population of people. Like, that's
you know what? Dude, take it. Now, all of us have met. Okay, I came from the hood, and I've met black people who grew up like, say, Pueblo, around number white folks, and they come around a bunch of black. You start listening to them, you go like, what the hell? They into rock and roll music. They into country western. Then everything white, and you going like, but that's all they was accustomed to, and everything else was never around them. Right. They have no true identity of themselves because all they had was what they was brought up around. And I met them, had no clue. They even talk funny. They go like, man, please, you been gone.
But isn't that is their identity?
Right.
It's like,
that's the identity.
That is it. It's not that they don't have their own true identity. Right. They're different. You know,
and when they go elsewhere, they find out how different they are. They go, whoa. And other people see it. You know, it's what it is.
Yeah, it's different, but then it's not accepted to be like, to have differences. I grew up in Chicago, you know. I'm like, I love all types of music because that's what I like. You know, I didn't grow up around a lot of white people, but that wasn't accepted. Like, if I was either had to listen to like the music, you know, hardcore rap like everybody else and know all of this stuff, or it was like, well, you know, you're not accepted in our group because you don't want to listen to the same exact thing that we listen to. So it makes it difficult, and that even goes into dating. You know, the so it like recently, so like within the last year, decided to like start like trying to date again, get out there. Everything's like online and stuff, and having the conversation. Like I like to travel. I like to like go up in the mountains and stuff, and like frequently from black guys, it's like that's white people shit. You know, I'm like, well, you know, but that's what I like to do. Like, you don't, again, you have a choice. You don't have to join me, but I like to do these things because I want to do it. I moved out of Chicago because there wasn't a lot of positive things. Hey, first off, going on there, but there wasn't a lot of like outdoor things that you could do. So I moved somewhere where there was more outdoor things and more things that I liked, but it presented a challenge in dating to like find people that wanted to do the same thing.
But you're right. You're right. Because like we said, like at 64, you try hard trying to find somebody to date. And then women like you say, my body's so messed up from working out and football and all that. I ain't trying to do that. But every woman I meet now, like the one I was dating before, she want to climb all the 14ers. Well, take your ass on. I'll drive you to the mountain. Wait till you come back. I got a bottle of water for you. I'll support the hell of you. But I'm not going up that damn mountain. I ain't going up there.
But see, but at least there's support, you know, like, and so that's
right.
I'll support. At least there's support. It's not that, because whenever relationship you get in, you all may not have the same hobbies, and I think it's healthy for like if my dude wants to go off and do something, I don't have to be up his ass every time he does something. Like you go and do your shit, I'm gonna go and do my shit, and we will meet somewhere afterwards or whatever. But when I want to go do something and you're not necessarily like totally into it, it's like that support, it speaks volumes. It's like, if you're willing to drive me up there so I don't have to take this 2-hour drive by myself and talk to me, and then I get back down and get back some water and a snack.
I bought a walking stick. You understand me?
Right.
I bought a walking stick. I see the guy selling sticks on the street. I bought a walking stick.
Yeah.
As you go hiking, I'll be at the car with my mini grill. I'll see you when you get back. If I'm not in the mood to hike, I will have the mini grill. I got the coolie set, right? You can go talk your ass up the mountain. I'm gonna make some chicken and whatnot so when you come back, because I know you're gonna be hungry.
Right? Hungry as hell.
That's sandwich for you. Yeah.
Nick, what you got on the topic? What you got on this video, man? I know you got some thoughts. We got about 5 more minutes of the show left.
No, I mean, it's nothing different from what I've already said. Unfortunately, she's a part of the Black collective within the YouTube space that spreads, a lot of pseudo intellectual, ridiculous propaganda speak. And from where I'm seeing it, it comes from something deep, something rooted that she and others like her have yet to sit down and take self-inventory and actually deal with and work through. Unfortunately, that just seems to be the case. And like I said, you have some of those, you have individuals like her who, in a kind of like a mad genius type way, they've found a way to capitalize off of that by gathering an audience, if you will, and just being their source of entertainment to the point to where they're actually putting chips on the matter. Like they're waiting day in and day out to see what she has to say, or even on the flip side, men who do the same thing, Black men who do the same thing, they want to see what they have to say. So like I said, they're banging they banging the fuck out of them cash apps and super chats, and getting the viewerships up and the subs up. They got that's a mean balance just to maintain as a content creator, period. So to do it in this way, it's once you get the gears going, you want to keep it going for as long as you possibly can. Right. And unfortunately, that's all that I'm seeing here. Like I said, I actually watched that panel. I think it was like a 2-hour. They was on that. They was on that shit for about 2 hours.
2 hours.
An hour, 2 hours.
45 minutes too long.
It was
45 minutes too long.
Yeah, it was a and the crazy thing that struck me was the women on that panel with her all have black sons. Most of them have black sons.
Wow. And I think even Cynthia G has a black son, if I'm
So
not mistaken. If I'm not
so
mistaken.
I all I know is that the majority of those the because it was probably like 5 or 6 of them on that panel.
Mm-hmm.
They have sons, and they're not babies either.
Wow.
They're of age to where if they were, and I was just in my head thinking like, if their sons see this, when their sons see this, because they will,
Right. It's gonna be on there forever.
how are they gonna how then are they gonna explain that? How are
Right.
they gonna how are they gonna explain that down? You know what I'm saying? You can't walk back what you said. You can't. Well, I was talking about these. No, with the broad stroke, you was talking about everybody to the point you're casting death on the whole
Right.
species of black men because you
Right.
think that if black women were to go and I mean she went as far as to saying and to giving these ladies giving these chicks the game as far as you can find out what the sex of the baby is before it even forms. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You
Yeah.
can if you can go. There's some test or whatever that they can go at some blood work. I don't know. I'm ignorant to a lot of this
Blood
shit.
test.
No,
Some
no. There is
There's
a test that you
some
can
blood
find
test.
out. Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So she was
Uh-huh.
telling them like there's ways that you can go and figure out what the sex of your baby is, gender of your baby is, whether it's a
Yep.
boy or girl. And upon you finding out that you're having a boy, you can go and put in pencil in a schedule to get it terminated because
Wow.
that's the reset that we need in the black community. That's the only way the black community is going to thrive is if we are completely devoid or completely voided of black men, and that's what in totality what that was about. Again, by black women whom have black sons, whom have black men in their lives. They're either married to a black man or their life partner or their significant other is a black man. And I'm just thinking to
Right.
myself, the whole time while I'm watching it, do even the men that they are with in their lives, be it a boyfriend, a fiance, husband, what are these dudes thinking? What
Right.
what are
I got a better question. I
you
got
know?
a better question. All
So
right. With these women speaking this rhetoric, are they not creating a generation of fuckboys coming up? Because think about it. If as a young man, all I'm seeing is black women bashing me, bashing, bashing me, bashing me, then why the fuck do I want to date a black woman?
I mean,
Nobody, nobody
that
accountability for that? Like nobody sees that has that correlation, or is it just me? If it's just me, let me know.
I think I think an important thing to do with shit like this is to really get down to the root cause of why we are where we are at as black men and black women and why there is such a fucking disconnect, divide, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then from there, we have to dissect and peel back those layers and address things from a genuine foundation, from a genuine standpoint, without the whole, let's run the victim Olympics to see whom is hurting more or whom hurt who more, who's doing whatever. It's like we know what it is. Now we need to get to the issue and we need to actually have actionable solutions so that we can get away from stupid shit like what we are discussing right now, so we
Okay.
can get away from goofy ass niggas, smart dumb niggas is what I like to call them. Because they they think that
So
they're
smart
saying something, but really it's just like you have no idea how fucking stupid you sound. You
But
know what I'm
see, but
saying?
but this is the thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the reason why I had the show because
Yeah.
we need we need to tell young men to avoid at all cost. Do not handle, do not put up with, do not have set any bound. Do not deal with women like this at all. You know what
We
I'm
need.
saying?
I hear what you're saying on that. That's a fair
You
assessment.
better,
He's
you
type
better,
of
I
women.
would I would
He's
you
type of
better
say
women.
catch him.
I
You
would
better catch him
say
before they have. You better catch him before they
I
have the first nut, or you can forget about it.
I would
They lost
say
their
you
damn
need to
mind.
get around like-minded black people. This isn't
Right.
just exclusively a dysfunctional thing with black women or black men. There's archetypes and there's batches of black folk that you just need not be around because
Correct.
this is all they want to this is all they it's not even just all they know, this is what they want to do. They are making the conscious effort, they're making the choice to spew this bullshit. You
But
know what I'm
wouldn't you
saying?
agree? But wouldn't you agree that she's a liability?
Major.
People like that are a lie. Yeah, people like her are black folk like her are an extreme liability. That's what I'm saying. You can hold them accountable, do all of that, but at the same time, you can also stay away from that shit and get around black men and women um who think different.
Right.
And
Because
I
that's
think that
yeah.
and I think the more that happens,
Mm-hmm.
then individuals like her, be it a black man or black woman, they'll it'll be nothing to cast them out. It'll be nothing to do away with them
Right.
because
And that
now you
right.
have purposeful, excuse me, black folk that are going
Mm-hmm.
to they'll easily eclipse that rhetoric, that those talking points, all of
Right.
that BS as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But until that happens, we really, we got to tighten up. And I mean, we know what the issue is. We see individuals like her. We get it. We see it and we get it. But now
Right.
it's like, well, this is what we need to put this in place so that we can build around that and get away from that.
Right. And this
Good
is and
luck.
see this is the reason why I
Good luck.
see this is the
Good
reason why I
luck.
say
Yeah.
that
And then you got that. You got folks that are just they're so I'm not saying old school is defeated or is coming from a place of defeatism, but you have, if that's even a word, but you have, but you have black folk that are just so exhausted of all of this shit that they don't even want to bother. They don't even want to bother.
You get 60
It's a
folks, you tired of shit.
right. They are now within an
Boy,
individual.
please.
They're operating within an individual mindset, and while I don't necessarily agree with that, I can't say that I blame them. I can't say that I don't. I would be.
Yeah. When you spend
I would be
30 years of your
foolish to
life,
be. I
right?
would
When
be
you
foolish
spend
to be
30,
like I don't understand why
right?
they're
You
operating
will.
from such
No,
a space.
you
I
will.
get
In
it.
20 years, you will get it. Because I was you 30 years ago, bro. In 20 years, you're gonna get it. You go after all you do and all the suffering, all the you go like, damn, I can't believe all. And just it's still the same. You will get it in 20 years. You'll be me going. I see what old school was saying. Go for it.
but here's
I
the
wish you luck.
but here's the thing. And this is why a lot of people said, Kevin Samuels was really y'all ladies that he was really y'all last hope because he actually encouraged relationships and how he taught, look, we weren't meant to be here single. We were meant to be with each other. Yes, we're great. Men are great. Women are great. But at the end of the day, together, we're better together because we can build something. We just got to meet each other where we're at. But you have to be qualified to be with certain people. We have to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Stop having all these damn unrealistic expectations as far as when it comes to dating. Stop expecting men to be traditional and you to be modern. Sorry, it will never work. It just will never fucking work. Look, you can't ask for traditional values from a man, and you're going to be in the mindset of a modern woman. It's just not going to work. Sorry, because you're going to get a beta. You're going to get a modern man. Sorry, that's just what it is.
Well, but the expectations, like it's not the fact that it's unrealistic. It's like, well, if that's your expectation, then put that out there. I'm like there's guys that jump into a relationship like, yeah, I can meet that. I'm gonna keep trying, and then when they don't, and the chick is mad, or they both mad at each other. It's like, well, why did you do that? You know, like if she's saying that this is what she wants, and this is like, expectations are expectations. Like it may seem unrealistic, you know, to some, but everybody is entitled to like have their expectations, their things that they want in their life. And then if it's not working and you're like, okay, I'm willing to adjust this. Or if you meet somebody and saying like, okay, you know, I see that this is not going to work out, but I want to be with this person, then you start making adjustments, you know,
But
to
this,
the, to those
but
things.
see, but here's the thing. Lyric. What I'm saying, as far as unrealistic expectations, you cannot have it all. No one can fucking have it all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No one. But we really have females out here really thinking, oh, you can have it all. No, I'm going to have it all. Fuck you. I'm going to have it all. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Stop watching Disney movies. Stop watching Hallmark. Stop fucking watching Lifetime. Stop it.
You got
It's putting something
Look,
in
you
your
know what?
head.
Don't
you got people out there. You got people out there that got it all. And ain't gonna have it.
I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, that's why we have the 80-20 rule. Give me 80% of what you can give me. The other 20, I can work, because you're gonna deal with somebody who's human, who's gonna have flaws,
Man,
who's not gonna have a on day every single day.
You got people out there that got it all and they ain't happy.
Right.
Make, you know, so
Exactly.
Right now,
you got fucking billionaires jumping off
Brady
fucking
and
suicide.
his wife about to get divorced. It ain't about money.
All because he wanted to go back into the NFL.
No, it
Crazy,
ain't.
right?
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. They ain't got nothing to do with it. They got nothing to do with it. If anybody believe that, they're a damn fool. They're a damn fool.
I think that's one of the measures, because they did have an agreement as far. Hold on, they did have a discussion as far as them. He was supposed to retire.
Okay.
And
Let me ask Lyric this. Lyric. If you had a man that made $250 million and he just said, well, honey, I don't want to play football. I want to play football another year. And you say, honey, we said you weren't going to go. But if you want to take your dumb ass out there and break your damn neck, that's fine. Make sure the money signed over to me. Make sure all the shores covered, because we agree that your ass will go out there. When your ass get crippled, I'm not going to take care of you. I'm going to use your money to take care of your dumb ass. So when I'm saying to you, that woman is not that damn selfish and stupid. There's something else going on. It ain't about the money. It ain't about him not want to play football.
Hold on, old school. Hold on. Then she wouldn't be She wouldn't be adhering to the vows, because it says for better.
Right, but I'm telling you, there's something else going on. Because Lyric, would you be upset if the man said, "Okay, honey, I want to try one more year"? Would you leave him? You may fight with him every day because he changed his mind, but you ain't gonna leave him. Am I right?
But that all depends, because if she's coming from a place of like, I don't want to watch you kill yourself, you know, like if this is, so who knows like what else is going on behind the scenes.
I'm trying to tell you,
somebody you love, you don't want to watch them kill themselves and be paralyzed and all of that.
But at the end of the day, Lyric, I don't think that should be merit for you to end a whole.
No, it's like for myself,
I mean, y'all built a whole fucking empire. You know what I'm saying?
So that
don't get me wrong, she got money too. But to divorce because he wanted to go back into the
you get mad
NFL, like come on, like that's unnecessary.
That doesn't warrant divorce. No, but there probably more stuff going on there. But the conversation should happen of like, you know, I don't want to see your ass out there getting fucked up, you know, and you would paralyzed for the rest of your life. And
but that's what you signed up for.
I'm doing
that's the man you love.
That's what you signed up for.
Right.
You signed up for that shit.
But that doesn't mean that you can't have that conversation. Like, I'm not saying divorce, but that doesn't mean you can't have a conversation of like, hey.
No, I had a conversation, but you ain't gonna leave me over that. Come on, baby.
But like for instance, like you can't. I don't honestly, to tell you the truth, when it comes to Kanye and Kim's relationship, I don't feel bad for that dude Kanye. You already knew she was a 304. You know what I'm saying? You already knew she was. She's the pass around girl. Come on, like celebrity pass around girl. You know what I'm saying? People that you've had close constituent that you done songs for, produced for, who had your girl all bent over and doing all type of stuff to her. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at who you married. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. Oh, I don't feel bad for you, not one bit. I'm sorry, but
You ahead of time. You do ahead of time.
Look, you cannot
do
make
ahead
a
of
hoe
time.
into a housewife. That's just
Listen,
what
man.
it is.
Not without
A
enough
lot
money.
people, I think people make this relationship shit harder than what it needs to be, and I see a lot of
agree.
people, and I see a lot of folks, men and women alike, entertaining and they're all in each other's faces when they shouldn't be in nobody's face at all. You need to take self inventory. You need to get your shit up and off the ground first before you even get out here calling yourself
Yeah, man.
entertaining anybody. Like a lot of
Right.
people got
That's true.
a lot of people got fucked up credit. A lot of people don't have their own place that they can lay their own head. You got niggas
Right.
laying up under females and
Living with
relying on
them.
them. You got women out
Right.
here. You got women out here that are, trying to trying to survive off a meal ticket off some dude out here. Like it's just a lot of erroneous bullshit going on out here. And then you get to these platforms or amongst your friends, your circle, whatever, and then you start having I see a lot of people asking these questions that they already have answers to. It's because you're not 100% your damn self. And so then you get out and so then you get out here, you know what I'm saying? You get out here and you call yourself, she's not submitting, or she's not. The shit is it's whack. It's stupid, or he's not building. Well, it's
Go
all
back.
it's.
Who are you
Go back
with?
what I said.
Right.
This shit is
How
crazy
much
to
is
me.
gonna
It's just
cost
like
me?
it's you shouldn't even have to ask that question. Like
How
she'll
much is
see
gonna
she
cost
will
me?
she'll see it in your actions is how you're moving in your purpose
Mhm.
as a man. You won't even have to
Right.
ask that question.
You would think
Right.
so.
And that's
I
and that's
mean,
why.
maybe I'm just speaking off of a personal experience. And I know my
No.
anecdotal
I think you're
experiences
speaking the truth. It's the
doesn't
truth.
speak for everybody else. I'm
It's the truth.
right.
It's the
I'm
truth.
just saying what it should be. If you want a woman of quality, you as a man, you need to be presenting yourself of quality as well.
Yep.
I
That's
agree.
just
I agree.
bar none. We need to stop asking these dumbass questions that you already have the answers to.
But here's the
Mhm.
thing. You also
It's
have to understand what you qualify for as well. You know
and
what I'm
but
saying?
but when
No, Lord, KB.
but K-Dot, the thing is, when you understand whom you are as a person and what you're out here doing, you know what I'm saying? All of that falls in line. All of that will fall into place. Like I don't have to ask what type of woman that shit sounds goofy as fuck to me. What kind of woman do I qualify for? Like I don't sit up doing shit like that because of how I
No,
live.
not necessarily. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about more
Hey
of
guys, I'm tapping out. I gotta
maybe.
get up in the morning.
All right, old
See you
school.
guys later, man. Y'all be talking about this. Y'all be on this up to next.
Yeah, I'm tapping that as well.
Next, I'm tapping. I gotta get on that.
All right,
I'll see
Trace.
y'all,
All
man.
right.
The next time, I'll see y'all later.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Peace. I guess what I'm saying is that because I'm talking about for more for women as far as them having qualifications to because they want to date a lot of these women want to date a certain men as far as the 10%
I hear
as
you.
far as the high value men. That's what I guess that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
And I hear you 1000%. But that template, keyword template, that goes for everybody. That's not just what we need to do as men. What they need to be doing that too, as women themselves.
Yeah, that's self-care.
It's common sense, is what I'm saying. It's
common sense ain't common to everybody.
Right.
Unfortunately,
but in that we know that it's not just exclusive to us as men, black men.
Right.
It's also not exclusive to just them as black women.
Like you can't, like, dude, you can't. Look, if you're living at home with your mom, you know what I'm saying? Dating should never even be on your mind
at all.
Your priority should be getting
yourself, and you ain't got your shit like
right.
tight.
Like if you ain't got your shit together, like I can honestly say,
it'd be those dudes that be complaining about women. It'd be them complaining about women they can't get because they're sitting in this state of misery, And
even the,
again, women too. I mean, I say
even
everybody
the
is out
rich.
here fucking up as far as I'm concerned.
Look, there's rich betas too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Be quick to be like, oh, I got all this. Prime example, DJ Academics, big act. Oh my god, that dude is a fucking pussy. He even said it. He was a pussy ass Negro. He said he said it out of his own word. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that because I think success is the definition of success, because people put materialistic things on it, and that's farthest from the truth. There's people who have millions and billions of dollars and can't even deal with themselves because possibly they screwed and fucked over a lot of people to get where they're at. You know, to get those millions and billions. You know what I'm saying? And they're not really heavily, really respected in their own entity, within their own. You know what I'm saying?
It could be a lot of things, but if
but
you
success,
are not,
yeah.
Ahead,
But
sorry. I
success,
wasn't trying to.
but success is it. Are you able to look in the mirror every day? Are you a good person? Do you take care of your family? Are you a productive person in society? Are you a criminal? are you being are you a liability? You know what I'm saying? Are you a pillar to the community? Are you more of an asset? You know what I'm saying? If you're all of those things, as far as being just a generally nice person who takes accountability for shit, you know what I'm saying? Make sure whatever things that need to be that are broken within him, he makes sure he fixes expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? That type of person. You know, I have my own bit. Well, I have 2 businesses, about to start a 3rd one. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I work. You know what I'm saying? If I had somebody live with me, if I had a lady live with me, I pay all the bills. Just paid my car off the other day, thank God. It's like graduation. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Done. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Like
and speaking of that, I think that's where us as men, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You gotta put those building blocks together, before. I'll put myself out there. I'll throw myself under the bus. Man,
Yeah.
I had to like start. We've all had to start from rock bottom once upon a time. I came out of a greasy ass relationship where I was not emotionally intelligent or sound in the least. It was very black or white. It's shut the fuck up or do what I say. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing else of what you have to say. I don't care about none of this crying that you're doing. I don't care about none of that. I want you to just do what it is that I'm telling you to do, and that's it. And I mean, that's when I look back on it, that it was pretty terrible. But I had to go through like a lot, not just with relationships, but my peers and individuals in my circle that were falling back off my ass because of just how I was at that, which is everything. And I had to go through it with like you're gonna have to suffer as a man. You got to suffer. You got to go through it. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to strip yourself down and go, yo, what the fuck? Why is this not working for me? Why can't I get these outcomes with these women that I think that I should be around and afforded the opportunity to be with and things of that nature? You really got to sit down and be honest with yourself. Women need to do that too. And I think the problem is people just don't do that. They don't really, you said it earlier, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself these questions, and people don't do that. And if they do that, they're lying to themselves. I had to do that. Now, you know what I'm saying? I got evicted out of an apartment and my girlfriend's apartment at the time. We used to stay together, and then I moved out, moved back in, just a lot of the goofy, toxic up and down shit that people go through, right?
No, you're right. There's no such thing as a successful victim.
So I ended up moving out, and I had to sublet a room where I was sleeping on the floor for a year and a half. I didn't have nothing to my name other than just me building back up to my name so that it could fucking mean something. And now I'm in the market of credit score is booming. I'm in the market of purchasing my first home. I'm doing all this. So by the time a woman comes into my life, or by the time I allow a woman to come into my life,
Right.
I don't have to worry about these 50-50 fucking discussions because
Right.
I already got a home that I've been paying on. All you got to do is just move in and contribute to that, and
literally.
that's it.
That's it.
And I think that that's how it should. I think that that's just how it should be, rather than sitting down going, well, what do I get out of this, or are you going to submit to me, or whether your actions as a man will, I think, have that woman want to automatically gravitate towards you to where that submittal bullshit isn't even a question. It's how you move.
Thing.
It's how you set yourself up and how you move. And I think when you get online and you start, it's one thing to hear perspective, to see where people are coming from, but to sit here and try to like put that into whatever your life's curriculum is, and then try to apply that shit to you, and then it doesn't. You see that I guess at times it works for some of these cats, but I would venture to say more often than not, it doesn't. So they're back right here on YouTube looking at what the fuck Kevin Samuels has to say, or O'Shea, and these niggas ain't saying nothing. Rest in peace to the man, but he wasn't saying anything new under the sun. I heard O'Shea talk
and he
about
even
that
said,
before.
and he even said that. And that's the thing. He's like, these are not my ideologies. I'm just saying what's been out here. The high value that's been out here.
A lot of
it's been out here. Like I'm just
right.
basically regurgitating the information and maybe filtering it to where I make it plain to everybody. He was able to I think what was special about Kevin, he was able to communicate that to all, whether you were just the intelligent of the intelligent or just the dumbest of the dumb, because that's the reason why he would say, like, okay, and I don't think because he was stupid, because the dude was smart as shit. I mean, he would sometimes, all right, talk to me like I'm a Cocker Spaniel, because he wanted the audience to understand where the conversation was going. Like, I think that he prided himself. That's why he worked so hard to make sure that we weren't, on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's why he had the smoke show. Okay, got it. You think I'm an asshole? You don't like my tone? What's your issue with the curriculum that I'm filtering out to the masses? What is your issue? What is the thing that you don't disagree with? Let's fuck all the name calling. Let's get to the source. Talk directly to me. What is the issue? What am I doing wrong? What don't you agree with? And that's what I'm saying. He encouraged people to get together. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, if I wish the man was here before I got married, I would have saved 10 grand. That 10 grand would have went into a fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, I had no business being fucking married. No business being married at all. And
so you're saying you needed Kevin Samuels to tell you that to avoid that situation?
Well, it was, if I'm just being honest, my parents told me the same thing, but the way they told me, it was more in an emotional way, because it was just like, okay, so I married a woman who had 2 kids. I didn't have any kids. My parents are still together. And so they were telling me, what the fuck are you doing? We didn't raise you to already be in a family. We wanted you to start a family. And I'm like, well, my mother was raised by her stepdad. So I thought she was being a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? No, she was telling me, look, I appreciate my stepdad. Don't get me wrong. He's very much appreciated. But what I'm saying, you're not looking at the cons of what that man went through. And I don't want you to go through that. And it was more of an emotional thing. I thought they were just being mean. Like, just because she had 2 kids, she's not deserving of love. But the way Kevin broke it down, it was just like, what benefit do you get of being a stepfather to kids that don't belong to you?
Tax write-off.
Like, are you even Because it's what? It's $200,000 to take care of one child in Colorado now. You know what I'm saying? It's two each. So I mean, you're taking care. You have your own stuff, car, all that type stuff, and then you move in with somebody who has 2 kids and what are you thinking? Like, dude, you have your whole life. You should have spent your 20s on really focusing on your purpose. And I totally did not focus on my purpose when I got with her because I focused on family. You know what I'm saying? And I came from a large family. And they were trying to tell me, like, look, and I did. I eventually apologized to my parents. I was like, fuck, you guys are right. You're right. Because at the end of the day, when me and my ex-wife broke up, I didn't get to see them girls. The girls that I raised up to their teens. The girls that I invested my money, my time. Because there is no benefit in being a stepfather. And I hate to say it, there's no benefit. I'm talking about for the man, there is no benefit of being a stepfather for me. What is the benefit? I can't tell you.
Right. From your personal
Yeah, from your experience.
you can't say that. And the thing is, I can't water down or step on your experiences no more than I can Kevin Samuels when he was talking about his experience, or any other man who comes out and say what their unfortunate experiences were for in being a step parent. It sucks. I've heard other, but I try not to speak in absolutes, right? And I also like to see things from a broader perspective. So while I understand where you're coming from and your experiences are valid and where your thought process is coming from on the matter, also valid, I understand that there are also men out there that do take pride and value, coming into ready-made families where I don't want no kids, but you got kids that I've rapped with and that I've connected myself to, and I'm gonna make sure that they're straight. You got guys out there that are just selfless like that. And those are the guys that understand what it is that they're getting themselves into. They understand the risks that they are taking when they get into situations like that. How like what you just said, it may not happen to where it'll go into you guys being in a relationship forever. Y'all you might break up, and then in that, you're not just breaking up with the woman, you're also breaking up with the children too. And
exactly.
Again,
and the thing, and then it's not even on my account. And it's not even on my account because I wanted to still continue to be in the girl's life. But not only did she shit on my name and talk all type of shit to them, but it was also she wouldn't allow me to have you have your son and whatever. I'm like, really?
And unfortunately,
and I have no rights.
Those are the risks that men take when they get into situations like that.
You're absolutely right.
It's like your people try to tell you, you need to really understand what it is that you're getting into,
right?
Because this, that, and the third can happen, and
I'm also give you another transparent moment of mine because I went into the situation not with intent. I went into the situation with, we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, so you didn't take that serious at all.
And my younger brother was just like, dude, you're dealing with kids. You can't go into that situation. I'm like, no, she's a great girl. You know what I'm saying? I love the kids. The kids are great. You know what I'm saying? And I think I always had a question mark. It was never like, boom, this is the one. It was always a question mark. It was like,
that's wild.
Maybe a great. It is odd. It was very. That's
wild.
That's crazy, right? I'm just being transparent with you.
No, not. But
I'm
not judging you. I'm just
no. I just want to be totally transparent with you, and because these are the mistakes.
I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the honesty. but it sucks that, like, you. I mean, even with your fam, your people's telling you, like, nigga, no, this ain't it. and you still went and did it anyways. So see, that's where for me, I mean, it seems like you learned your lesson and you're
Oh, absolutely.
you know not to do that shit
Absolutely.
again. But you got
No.
people out there that are still making those mistakes consistently,
Yeah.
and then out here blaming the world because they can't get right.
Right. No. No. And see, that's the
They just
thing.
want
Like
to make a
with me
decision.
and my ex-wife, we co-parent very well. We both realized, look, we got a great kid out of it. And the thing is, it was just the end of our love story, and we move on. She got remarried. And I wish her nothing but the best and I have to wish her nothing but the best because if she's happy, my child is going to be even more happier. You know what I'm saying? My son, my son lives with me full time.
That's good.
He's in the room next door. Grades is great. He has his own business. He DJs. You know what I'm saying? I put him in position to where he's making money. He has a gig next week. He's doing a Halloween party. You know what I'm saying? So he's making hundreds of dollars. So because we had I remember the conversation that me and my son had, and I think he was 8, and I said, son, do you want me to give you money, or you want me to teach you how or to make money and put you in a better position to make your own money? He said, put me in position to make money. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started to teach him DJing and stuff. But first of all, you had to have the passion for DJing first. I didn't want him to just do it solely on making money because then he wouldn't enjoy it. He just wouldn't. And I don't think you would. I mean, I don't want to ever put him in something that he's not enjoying just because he's making money. I understand he's a man and you have to be, I'm teaching him how principles on being a provider and all those type of things. But if you have a passion, make money from it. Is my thing. You know what I'm saying? So he enjoys DJing. He makes money off of it. And he's going to continue making money off of it. I'm going to put him more in better positions. Just like when I just did a gig last week. And it was great. It was dope. And so I just want to put my son in a position where he's winning. You know, he's
Right.
going to be on my credit card. So by the time he leaves my house, he's going to have an 800 credit score. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of those parents, oh, at 18, your ass is out. No, That's the dumbest shit. And I'm not knocking any parent that has done it. I'm just saying I don't think that's feasible for the child because he's still. I don't want to. I left when I was 18, and it wasn't because I got kicked out. I'm independent. I'm ready to go. Peace out. Thank you for raising me.
No,
and no chill knows. I was right on Ryan's couch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, I was there with you, bro.
He was right there with me. You know what I'm saying? So
at 18, I left,
and I was in college.
You know what I'm saying? So that my story was like after college, because I fucked up in college. I'm gonna keep it a band. I didn't ask for help like I was supposed to. I was being stubborn. I thought I could will myself through my classes like I did through high school. Okay, left school. Fucking moved out at 19.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped off the porch a little bit later than most, but I jumped off and did it on my own. For a brief minute, when me and my ex-wife, which was my girlfriend at the time,
yeah,
there was times where she had cluster migraine, and she would be down for a week with a migraine. So there were times where I'm the only one working. I did that. I paid the electricity. I paid the rent. I paid the car note. I paid the insurance. I brought food in the house. I did that. Me, myself, and I, by my goddamn self. Me and my chick and the goddamn dog before we had our kids. I did that. So for me, I can feel that it's a lot of pressure that we put on our young men. And people don't understand that as a man, when you're taking care of all those responsibilities, your biggest fear is if I get hurt, who's going to take care of this?
And that is why I think not. Can I interject?
Yeah, I'm done. No,
So
yeah, I'm
that
done.
and those are good points because again, it goes back to what I was saying as far as before all that even happens to where you have a woman in your life to where even now y'all are having kids, you have your stuff set up to where you have life insurance. There's a lot of niggas out here, excuse me, there's a lot of black men, black folk that don't have life insurance. You know what I'm saying? start right there. Because I know whenever I have kids and something happened to me, whoever the mom is and my children especially, they'll be set up. They'll be good. And then based on how I'm moving and setting things up right now, my kids don't even exist. But when they get here, they're going to be set up because of just the things the trials and tribulations and the many a storm that I had to go through. I'm not perfect. I was out here fucking up and getting fucked up along the way. Like rolling with the punches and then learning from every experience and mistake and just getting back up each and every time and just understanding this is my purpose. This is my purpose. Yeah, I'm out here, partying and doing the most, but you got a purpose to fulfill. Yeah, this chick is occupying my time right now when I should probably be focusing on this. But after I get done smashing and doing all this foolishness over here, my purpose. So that's why I'm where I'm at now. Right. And I know that's not a hard thing. I know that's not an easy thing for a lot to do.
Right.
I know I cannot expect me from somebody else. It's just, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's going back to what we were even talking about as far as being selective of partners and quality and all of that. I think what gets not even lost in translation. I think where a lot of people miss the mark is with themselves. They miss the mark with themselves and not just being honest. And like I said, I appreciate your transparency, K-Dot, but even with what you just afforded us here on the panel, you know what I'm saying? It was like you knew, but you made the conscious choice to go, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and no intentions, no, I'm just fucking wing it. I'm gonna just wing it.
I was winging it. I like her.
Right. And it's not enough for me to. I mean, even when I was in my 20s, I was like, it's not enough for me to just like somebody.
Right. But you know what? I was incredibly naive.
Right.
I was incredibly naive. I was passive. I was definitely a beta for sure. Again, another transparent moment.
Let me say one more thing, KD, before you get. I'm gonna say one thing and then I'm getting off.
Okay. Yeah, we're about to end the show here in a few minutes.
The one important statement is know thyself. Like if you don't know you, how you gonna tell? Like how are you even going to explain to somebody else how to love you properly? Exactly. If somebody turns around, like, so even throughout, like I said, I started this dating process, but the questions were like beyond a lot of the guys. It's like, what do you need from me when you are not at 100%? If you are not at your best, do you need me to leave you alone so you have some quiet time? Do we need to talk? What do you need? And they're like, I don't know. Well, you need to know that because I'm gonna tell you what the hell I need. I'm like, I need you to probably leave me alone until I can like get my thoughts together.
I need more solutions than problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the whole, like, I don't know, but then the question came back, but how don't you know you? You're trying to I'm trying to introduce myself to you. You are supposed to be introducing yourself to me, but you don't know you. You don't know what you need. You don't know what support looks like from your partner. You don't know, like, you don't know what, like, how when you want to have a conversation and when you don't. It's like, well, I will try to talk and ask questions if you're upset, but you may be the type of person like, don't talk to me while I'm mad. Like, if I'm at the peak of my like madness, that's not the time to talk to me. Or like first thing in the morning, I'm not a morning person. Don't engage me in the morning. Like, let me breathe first. Let me get my coffee and then we can engage. But those questions were like beyond most of the guys that I was talking to, and it's not even like solely based off of race. It's like just men in general that haven't done the work to know themselves. And like it goes both ways. There's women that don't know themselves or take the time to say, like this is what I need, or this is who I am, and be totally completely honest. Like, we're not going to be at 100% all the time. Like, I know, like my car, I hate cleaning my car and I hate yard work. So when I'm in a relationship, I'm like, look, these are two things that ain't gonna be my problem. I will help you every now and then.
You shouldn't have to do, but here's the thing, you should, and that's the thing, you shouldn't have to do the yard work. And you should making sure that your man should be taking your car to make sure to get
But
clean,
as far
maintenance,
as like
all that,
taking
gassed
care
up.
of the household and things like that, like let's say my man gets sick and he can't, he
Sure,
like let's say he in the hospital, whatever, he could get sick and he
sure.
can't do these things. He come back like, damn, the yard is fucked up. He gonna know why, because I don't like to do these things.
But I'm not
You
going.
know, it's
But
like
I'm not
not
gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be
no, not
mad
to the
because that's
point
not.
of anger, but it's like it's just those things of like saying like I don't mind doing these things, I don't mind helping out with this stuff, but these are the things like
Right.
I just can't stand doing. And it's not like taking the sole responsibility of like, oh yeah, you know, I think this is my sole responsibility. It's more of saying like, if we are going in this together and we are working on things together, these are some things that I am not great at or I don't like. You know, like finances.
Mhm.
I'm okay with my finances, but shit, I like to shop. Like, but I
You are a
work, you
consumer.
know, I work. Look, I work and I do what I got to do, and you know,
Okay.
I've done great, you know, with my budget thus far, but there are
Yeah.
times where I'm not that great at that, you know, and those
Right.
that's an honest truth. It's not that I don't want to, you know, I take care of my business now, you know, bills are paid, but you know,
Okay.
it's not a total like blind spot for the person coming into the relationship. It's like, okay, you know, they need to know like, okay, she'll be thinking about these things will probably be awesome and great. These other things maybe, you know, they may be slacking, but that's what I want to know from the guy too, is like, what are the areas that you're great in, what are the areas that you struggle in, you know? So this is
That's
not,
important.
because that leads into arguments later on. It's like, well,
Yeah.
shit, if I had known that this was a big struggle for you, you know, and a big thing for me is like we can't struggle in the same areas, especially like financially. Like we both can't be bad at finances. You know, like, that's not gonna be good. Like
Right.
you need to be stronger in some areas where I may be weak at, and vice versa. Like we can work off of that, but kind of going back to like the knowing yourself, it's that honesty and that awareness of yourself to be able to properly at the beginning, not 10 years later, to properly be able to introduce yourself to this person and start off on the right foot. So many relationships start off on such a bad footing that, and then it's that comfort. It's like, well, you don't leave because it's like, well, you know, I've been here for so long, I might as well deal with it, and it just keeps getting worse.
Right. Right. No, I hear you, and you're absolutely right. And before you leave, let's get a final thought. What's your final thought before you leave? Lyric about the the title, Misandry, of the whole entire show. What is your final thought?
Um, I'm like, well, I mean, again, it's a horrible concept. We shouldn't be, you know, teaching hate. That whole like aborting black kids, terrible. You know, like people have these platforms that they really should use more responsibly, but they don't. And
Hmm.
it's just a terrible message to continue perpetuating for people. But the more I feel like, you know, we can't just put the onus on people that jump on social media to talk about anything. It's like we are the ones consuming this message. You know, we have to be aware of what we're putting in our minds and our bodies, what our kids are watching, all of
Hmm.
that stuff. We need to be mindful that ingesting that is going to have some sort of effect. And if you're ingesting all that negativity, eventually it's going to come out in a negative way. So we don't want to support people like that,
Hmm.
and just be aware. But you know, I don't condone the hatred. I don't condone all of that negativity. But on the flip side, you know, what I can do positively is my awareness, you know, my conversation, the people that are around me. Like I'm very selective about the people that are around me and like the message they're that they're sharing, you know. And if I don't want to be a part of that, or if I have an opinion about it, I'm pretty vocal
Okay.
about where I stand on those things. So yeah.
All right. Well, uh, Mr. No, thank you for your final thought. And Mr. No Chill, what's your final thought on the topic?
I feel that this is something that's been on our faces for a while. You feel me?
Hmm.
We've seen this before, and we've seen it from different viewpoints. So now we have a name for it, and I honestly believe that for these types of people, for the greater good of the African diaspora, we got to kick them out and let them fend for themselves. Because if you're not going to bring positivity and build up the community, you need to kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got.
Okay. Thank you for your final thought. And Mr. Nick, my man, what's your final thoughts on the topic, sir?
I mean, with good comes the bad, up comes down. What goes up must comes down. You know, misogyny, misandry. You know, it's polarity. It's polarity. It's here. It ain't going nowhere. The best thing that you can do is filter out accordingly and surround yourself around folks and things that are positive and conducive to your mental health, well being, and things of that nature. It's like what I think Lyric was saying. You know, it's all about what you digest and take in, and then also on the flip side, what you're paying attention to, what you're giving, what you're giving the opportunity to exist by just like engaging in that in that in whatever the bullshit is, right? So that's where I'm at with that.
Right.
As far as Cynthia G is concerned, like all I, listen, I don't agree with 95% of the shit that she be talking about. I mean, because at one point she was all for her people, and she spoke highly of black
She
men
was.
and
She was.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the space, you know her story. And I mean, she puts it out there. She's put it out there many a time as to why she made the flip. But the thing is, the shit that she's on now, I don't, I don't subscribe to it. I don't agree to it. It's her opinion, and as detrimental and goofy and stupid as the
Mm-hmm.
shit may be, she's entitled to that. I'm not about
Right.
to sit up here and it's whatever.
I would
I
love to
know
debate her.
I know better. I know that there's
Yeah.
black women out there, plenty of black women out there that don't ascribe to that information. They're not
Right.
trying to hear none of that bullshit. They know what's up. So
Right.
it's I'm not tripping off of that. When it comes to just what we were talking about as a whole, the relationships, exercise common sense.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say. Exercise common sense, and then before you get out here asking what a motherfucker's bringing to the table, what are you presenting? What are you doing with yourself? What have you done with yourself in order to even, how do you have the audacity to even ask a question when you know your shit in the background is all fucked up? How are you asking
Right.
people what they bringing to the table or what they can do for you when you can barely do for yourself? I
Right.
mean, it's
Asinine.
weird. It's weirdo energy for me. So that's
Okay.
where I'm at. That's where I'm
Okay.
at with it.
All right. My final
Do,
comment is
do
I'm
better,
sorry, go ahead.
everybody. Do
Do
better,
better.
everybody.
Yeah. I agree. My final thought is on the reason why I wanted to have the conversation on this is because I don't think it's not a popular subject or even word to even talk about. A lot of people don't even know what the fucking word meant.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
few people
wild.
did like, what the fuck is that? What is misandry? What is that? And then it was like, oh shit, there's an actual word for hatred toward men. Like, yeah, yeah, been there for years. And the thing is, I wanted to make this word a little bit more populated so they know when men are out there on the dating market and when they do, and I'm talking about the men who actually have their shit to get together, because I only advocate for good men. I don't advocate for fuck boys or mama boys or people who just don't even have their shit together, just causing the havoc, just Pookie and Ray Ray. I do not advocate for them motherfuckers at all. I advocate for responsible, pillar, uh, look to up as far as in the community type men. Those are the men that I speak for. Those are the people that I will stand with. Those are the people that I will network with. Men who are an accessibility instead of a liability. Those are the men that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the men who got their shit together, who take care of their families, who's involved in their children's lives, or focused on their purpose if they don't have children, consistently. So those are the men that I advocate for. Those are the people that I advocate for. The shit that Cynthia G was spewing was pure poison. And the thing is, her bitter baby mama rhetoric is going to get these young women put in even worse predicaments when it comes to relationships, because they're going to be picking the wrong men, or they're going to have this fucked up mentality as far as of the black men that even put them on this fucking earth. Even if and this is what I'm saying, a lot of the times you'll hear, if the man wasn't there in the child's life, you only hear the mom side of it. You don't never hear the dad side of it. You know what I'm saying? And then when they finally hear the dad side of it, you'd be like, oh shit, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Well, mom, you totally just fucked up my relationship. Hell, 50 Cent and his son's going through that right now. You know what I'm saying? He was in his child's life for his whole entire life. Not only that, he put himself on child support. Before he put his baby mom in a mansion, gave her $25,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? And then now he's starting to see, and then other men are coming to him and being like, dude, you're fucking up. You're coming off as an entitled little ass boy. You're 25 years old, dude. Grow the fuck up. Talk to your dad. Get his side of the story. But there's so much fucked up shit you done did to him because of your mother that he looks at you like you a fucking liability. Like, dude, I don't even know if I can even trust you. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. But as far as Cynthia G, I'll just go ahead and let Future speak for me.
He cold. She belongs to the streets. He cold. She belongs to
the... So, just saying, she belongs to the earth. We don't want her. Men, stay the hell away from her. Don't handle anything like that. Be with feminine women, but make sure that you have your shit together before you even dive into a relationship. Make sure you have your stuff together. Make sure that you're treating people right. Make sure you're mentally, spiritually, physically healed to be productive in somebody's life, to lead them in a family. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, having a family costs money. Costs money. Okay, remember that. So those are my final words. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. And to answer your question, McDonald, do I regret getting married? Absolutely. I don't.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Yep.
Another transparent. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna be honest. No chill. You already know how I am. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna just why lie, right?
You didn't get this shit. Okay, let me give a prime example.
If it gets to my ex-wife, it gets to my ex-wife. She probably thinks the same thing. But at the end of the day, we co-parent well together. We got a great kid out of it. Just the end of a love story. That's it.
As long as y'all doing right by that kid, that's
it. That's all that matters. As long as we love him unconditionally. Yeah. And that's all that matters. And I'm glad she's in a better place, and I'm glad I'm in a better place. And I wish her nothing but the best. So
that's awesome.
I'm your host, DJ K Dot, and I appreciate you guys. And I'm out. And for all of us, and I appreciate Lyric, Nick, No Chill, Old School, Trace, and I believe that's it, right? Oh yeah, Love Bug. She was trying to get on the show, but I don't know, her raggedy ass phone. I don't know. But anyway.
You get cussed out for that comment too.
I know I am.
Get an Android instead of an Apple.
But I love each and every one of y'all on the panel. I appreciate y'all 100%. Next week is ghosting. We're talking about ghosting. Nick, we need to get together. Also, me and No Chill, we need to get together for these questions, bro, because we got to get into it. This is gonna be a fun subject. It's Halloween. We're gonna talk about ghosting. You know what I'm saying? So all right, man. It's your boy DJ K Dot, and I am out. One.
Back.